They get a Gary Wilson.
Yeah, I reckon so, yep.
Ledger's got blue boots on Panda. Henderson's got a headband on.
Christie, Philo, Sam Murray and
Tom Capillari.
I like those Myrtleford away jerseys. I reckon they're unreal.
Isn't that their home one as well?
Is it?
No, they wear the black one.
No, they wear the black one.
Maraca.
Oh, yeah.
Look at Reece Grant and his beard.
Bloke.
30 seconds. Leaving empty-handed.
Same ground.
That's all right.
These, please.
And Del Bosque.
Juice Plus, Hawkins Street, how long?
Del Bosque.
10 seconds.
First quarter action, not far away from getting started. 3 minutes away from the bounce of the ball here at the WJ Finlay Oval. Wangaratta Rovers up against the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. Panda Escott with you. Brad Freak, Luke Francis and Chris Mitchell boundary side where the toss was just had. Chriso, who won it and who's kicking to what end?
Yes, Panda, Sam Murray, captain coach of the Rovers, has won the toss and kicking to the southern end. I'm not sure what that street's called.
Devon Street end.
Devon, is it? Evan Street, yes. I should know being a Wang boy, shouldn't I? But, Rovers have had a first win, but perfect conditions here. There's not a breeze to think of. The sun's coming out at the moment. The ground is quite hard as well, which is going to be perfect for footy today. The centre square, obviously, a little bit muddy where the wicket is, but I think they're not going to. They're going to try and avoid that area as much as they can, and great conditions for footy.
Our umpires today as well, Brendan Llewellyn, Jason Rain and Kel Logan, so best of luck to those men officiating. Brad Freak, who are we looking at on the 40-wing stat sheet today, please?
Yeah, for the Wangaratta Rovers, we'll start with Will Christie, Brody Philo, Sam Murray, Alex McCarthy and Jack Garish. And for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints, got Jake Sharp, Brodie Riccardi, Mitch Del Bosco, Simon Curtis and Tom Capillari.
Yeah, how are your concentration levels going to be as well? Because I just heard a little yes out the back of the corner because Collingwood are playing Fremantle and I reckon look at him, he's got the KO in front of him. Oh, if there's a few 40-wing stats that are a little bit off today, you know why.
This is unbelievable, Panda.
If I get distracted,
come on, Freaky. What's your mind on my job, young man?
We'll be right, mate. We'll be right.
Laid out as well, just confirming for the Wangaratta Rovers lineup as well, Lukey. You're going to see number 15, the Frenchman, Shane Gaston, running around out there as well because big out, the Ibis, Toby Murray, laid out for the Wangaratta Rovers.
That is a big out, isn't it? It is. That gives them, great for the Saints, but they sort of lose a couple of options, don't they? Remember when Christie started in the game here, I think it might have been versus the Pigeons. He started in the ruck. and Toby Murray started forward, so it gave him, a couple of tall options. But with him being out, Toby Murray, Gaston comes in, another big body, but probably not as mobile as Toby Murray, that's for sure, Freaky.
No,
big Gaston.
No, certainly not. And Will Christie obviously is a star when he comes into the side for the Wangaratta Rovers, and Toby Murray's been probably one of the revelations of the season, really, in the ruck for the Wangaratta Rovers as well. So they're going to lose a lot of his ability today. And Toby Costa, on the other hand, who's only a young fella making his way for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints, has really impressed in his first few games as well. So
he has.
It's a really good opportunity for him to test himself against some really experienced ruckmen from the Wangaratta Rovers today. So it will give him a little bit of an edge, I think, in the midfield battle as well. With Rovers missing a few out of their regular midfield group, they're not the usual suspects that are going to be in there. They're going to rely on a few more blokes to go in there and try and get the job done for them today.
Exactly.
Chris Mitchell, boundary side for Waters as well. Now, we saw Alex Marklew and then the Wangaratta Rovers run through a banner. Is it game number 100 today? Chris, have you been able to verify that for us?
Yes, I have actually, Panda. It is not game 100. It is 101, but they wanted to celebrate at home, which is great. Had a little banner for Alex, and going to be a big occasion, especially with his father on the balcony in the 93 Premiership team.
33 goals from 11 games, Alex Marklew. 57 goals last year, 10 goals in his last 3 weeks, Lukey. I think when he's on, he is such an exciting forward, isn't he?
Yeah, he certainly is, mate. I think I said this a couple of weeks ago on O&M Live, and at the same time I said I don't want to get carried away, but he reminds me of a young Buddy Franklin when he was at Hawthorn, that really athletic player that's unpredictable, can do some very, very special things.
A tip from you, Chris Oak?
Oh, I'm going to say Rovers by 13 points.
Freaky?
Yeah, Rovers by 4 goals.
What about you, Lukey?
Exactly the same, Panda. Rovers by 4 goals. What about yourself?
I think the Rovers by about 5 or 6 goals to minus. The umpire holds the footy aloft. First quarter action for A-grade oils and batteries underway. And here's Lukey Francis.
Yeah, Will Christie for the brown and gold, Panda, and Toby Costa for the tricolours in the ruck. And Costa got it away to Winner Irving on the half-forward flank, brought down by Paddy Murray in a good tackle. And straight away, we'll have another ball up. And there's a whistle here.
Blood rule. Wow.
Straight away, Brody Philo, is it?
15 seconds.
Must have been the first contest.
Is all that's taken, and Brody's off.
There was a little bit of commotion. One of the players did run into the umpire, Jason Rain, there, so I don't know if he's had an accidental collision with the umpire and he's got a little knock off it.
Yeah, so Brody Philo,
on his hand,
the Rovers' prolific ball winner, has come to the bench, and Finn Osborne's replaced him in the 20 Guernsey for the Rovers. Here we go again, a reset. Christie, a whistle straight away over the shoulder, and Costa's going to get it. He let Christie know about it as well. Plays on. They send it in through Jake Sharp inside 50. That man, Sam Murray, back there. Pretty wild hand pass to Cody Sharp. Ball at ground level. Knocks it along the ground here to Hourigan, who's wrapped up by a couple of Rovers in Smith and also Alex McCarthy. And the umpire will have a, Panda.
So I played around a minute on the Macca's time clock. Perfect conditions for football and netball. These are the days that you wake up and you think, I cannot think of anything else I'd rather do than play footy, as Garish is able to weave through traffic beautifully and link up with a 1v2 and kick down the middle of the WJ Finlay. Beautiful kick, finds Tom Boyd. Too far out to score, inside the centre square, just pumps it to the only blokes inside 50. Marklew in game number 101. Marks plays on, bananas it for a wonderful finish. Oh, he can turn a switch like that, Alex Marklew. A steel line goal today. The opener here at the WJ Finlay, and the Rovers are on the board. They go to 1 straight 6. Myrtleford yet to score. What a finish, Chriso. Boundary side for Waters.
Yeah, he's got Levi Young on him, and Levi, as you know, the man on the mark can't move, and he knew that exactly, and he wasn't up to it, Levi Young. He didn't know what was going to happen, but Marklew just played on it. Absolute banana on his wrong foot, mind you, from the pocket. Incredible start to the game and his 100th.
Good leg speed by Jack Garish off the half-back line as well, getting 2 early disposals on the 40-wing stat sheet to line up. And they look so much stronger, the Rovers, when they got Boyd and Marklew in that forward 50.
Great start from the Rovers on their home turf. Back in the middle, ball at ground level. And it's tied up, and the umpire's going to have it again. So Tom Capillari hands it to Costa, and it comes out of the man in green. Here we go again. Let's have a look. Christie and Costa. Costa regathers on the second attempt. Marak ends up with it.
Kick.
Goes to centre half forward. Gets Winner Irving. He's about 80 from home. Swings around an entry. Down towards Riccardi over the back. And then coming out Chamberlain. And also Curtis. Simon picks it up off ground level. Gets the handball off to Bren. Bren left foot. The Saints respond. So it's all square at WJ Finlay Oval. 6 apiece on the Paulie's Corner Cafe. And McDonald's time clock has gone 3 minutes as we go back down to Chris Mitchell for Watters.
Yeah, it is great work by Simon Curtis, wasn't it, to keep it alive and shrug off a tackler and hand pass it to Bren, who was steaming in. Easy open goal there for the Saints.
It'll be really interesting to see the split of what Simon Curtis plays today. We've seen him play a little bit more forward this year, but his last game against Albury, he played nearly 60-40, 65-35, 65% of the game in the midfield, 35% of the game in the forward half, and he was really effective that day. I think he had around about 30 disposals, kicked the 4 goals as well. So it's really interesting to see how they'll use him today, the Alpine Saints.
Well, full forward at the moment, Freaky.
Yeah.
Goal number 13 for the year for Declan Brand, who has been a prolific goal kicker for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. Oh, look at that from Maraka, who started brilliantly, and his vision was brilliant as well to Addison Medendo, who just got a little push at half forward, broadcast side. Won a free kick, and he goes short to that man Maraka, who's lighting up the 40-wing stat sheet. Not sure we're doing his numbers. Beautiful delivery inside forward 50, and he's found Riccardi on the chest, 35 metres out. Pretty tight angle. He's going to run around, play on, snap it across his body, and hit it on the wrong side of the ball. Oh, that's a terrible finish from Brodie. It's still in play on the far pocket over there. Bren and Henderson at ground level. It was picked up by McNamara and just hacked out of there by the Rovers. It's all Saints out there. Del Bosco is intercepted too far out to score around 70 from home.
Yeah, Mitch has it panned on the half-forward flank. Played a great game 14 days ago against the Albury Tigers, short to Winner Irving. Must have only just gone the required distance. Back to Del Bosco, and they get an entry down towards the pocket here. The Saints to the netball court end. Good mark from Christie, getting back from the Rovers. Now he's having a look broadcast side. Just gets the handball off to Sam Murray, and then a handball out to Chamberlain. Chamberlain with about a 20-metre kick. And they're outside defensive 50 now through Amory. And down the line he goes, Elijah. Young took a great mark for the Saints on the half-back flank. And he wants to work it across half-back to Hugh Wales, back into the team this week. And then a good kick out here to Winner Irving. And the Saints are out.
Centre wing, broadcast side. Beautiful conditions for football, as I've said. Winter Irving's kick was aggressive and it's been chopped off by Elijah Amory from the Wangaratta Rovers. Open 50. He chips it into space. Dylan Wilson marks, plays on, and he's missed. Too much time to think about it from Dill Wilson. A shot on goal from 35 metres out on a slightish angle, and he hasn't made the Myrtleford Alpine Saints pay. The Rovers won 1-7. The Saints won straight 6 as we go boundary side to Chris Mitchell for Watters. Hasn't Josh Maraka had some start to the game?
Yeah, his work rate's been phenomenal as well, hasn't it? He's used the footy really well, but that was a great intercept mark by Elijah Amory, and let them off the hook a little bit there, the Hawks.
And Del Bosco's turned it over to Cody Shutt, coming out from the fullback position. So a big mistake there, Chriso, and the Rovers have a chance to put their second on the board.
Yeah, it's not a good spot to turn the footy over, and a great shot there here from the Rovers to put one on the board, and they've got obviously 7 points already, but it'll be a handy goal. They should have got one before with Wilson. Yeah,
disappointing from the Saints, and Cody Shutt has missed it. He lets the Saints off the hook. So 8 plays 6 on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. McDonald's time clock has gone over 6 minutes in the opening term. Let's go to Freaky on the 40-wing stats.
Yeah, Myrtleford dominating the inside 50s early in this game. They're up to 4 in favour of them. Rovers have only had the 2, but the Rovers have been able to have repeat shots at goal early. Sam Murray up to 2 early disposals, and Mitch Del Bosco up to 2 early disposals as well for the Saints.
What they have been able to do, Freaky, is get out the back on a number of occasions, and we'll watch that transition movement throughout the day as Capillari is tight in the pocket with a beautiful defensive kick and finds Tyler Harrington for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints on his own defensive 50. Has to just hack it down the line. Not a great kick. Christie's in the hole for the Rovers. Back in the side today. Last time he played for the Rovers, had 26 disposals and 2 sausage rolls, if you don't mind. Goes by hand to Nolan. Has to go back to Murray, who's ran into a Winter Irving tackle. Good pressure this by the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. Nolan just goes short to Gerish. Hand passes to Murray, who dropped the receiving handball, and now he's under pressure. He's won a free kick for in the back.
Not there at all.
Lucky he's going to pick it up on centre wing.
And shoots it to centre half forward. Mark is taken by Elijah Amory. Man on the mark. Hugh Wales right on the 50 arc. He goes wide, Amory, and he picks up Wilson. Last shot at goal was very wide.
Too far out. He's looking to pass it off, I reckon.
Yeah. What do you reckon, Chriso? What will he do?
Oh, well, he's going back for a shot, but I think he might look for a better option. I think it might test him the distance, but we'll see.
Yeah, Dylan Wilson. So the man on the mark probably at 45. And that's Alex Jacobs. Dylan, he's got those Orange boots on. Let's see if he can make amends for his last attempt. Nah, that's gone right again as well. And that one has gone through for a point. So 9 plays 6 on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. McDonald's time clock has gone 8 minutes. Opening term, we're at WJ Finlay Oval. Chris Mitchell, Dan Vaccaro, Blake Escott and Luke Francis on 15.66 3&E.
For the Old Town and Country Tavern. Looks like it's going to be Del Bosco once again with the kick-in duties. He had 38 disposals the other week against Albury. Prolific off half-back. His kick is out to the Normin side of the WJ Finlay Oval. Rovers win it back. Ledger in the bright blue boots. Here's Nolan, who balks one way, comes back on his trusty left. Beautiful kick out there, finds Elijah Amory. Wants to swing around on that right foot. Has to get around a Myrtleford Alpine Saints player on the mark. 3 tried to tackle him. He got around all of them. Well done there by Amory. Shutt's hand pass was intercepted by the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. Their kick down the wing is going to get intercepted here by Christie, who started pretty well for a big fella. He's a sensational ruckman for Geelong. McQuaid's kick in ball was aggressive. It's been turned over here by the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. Capillari tries to kick it to Irving. Winter Irving picked up here by Bedendo. Set sail from 50, open goal square. Doesn't cause a score, and it trickles out of bounds for a throw-in right next to the point post. 5 metres around for Myrtleford's goal. We've played 10 minutes of the Macca's time clock. It's the Rovers by 3 points. Brad Freak for 40 winks.
Yeah, 3 inside 50s for the Rovers, 4 for Myrtleford, 4 disposals for Sam Murray off the half-back line. Jack Garish on the wing for the Wangaratta Rovers is up to 4 disposals as well on the 40 wink stat sheet.
Netball court end. Far side in the pocket. Riccardi came off his back, and there's been a whistle. Free kick here. Chris Mitchell, did you see what that was for?
Maybe a slight push, but there wasn't much in it if that's what it was for.
And it's going to Christie.
He's pointed the wrong way.
He did
point the wrong way.
Brodie Riccardi touched the ball before the ruckman touched it, so it's a free kick to Wangaratta Rovers.
Should have been an umpire, Freaky.
Yeah, well done, Freaky.
Happy here, mate.
Very confusing for the players. As Panda said, the umpire did point the wrong way. Finn Osborne ends up with it. Quick handball off to Mark Clune. He's trying to find Dylan Wilson, who's in space, tapping it in front of him now, picks it up. He's had 3 or 4 touches in the opening term, swings around on the right boot, wild kick. Alex Jameson puts it to the deck, recovers, and handballs off to Hugh Wales. Looping hand pass over the top to Mitch Del Bosco. So the Saints have got it off half back and then goes with a 20-metre kick. Addison Bedendo just put the ball to deck. Cossack comes in. Bedendo goes again. Nolan joins the pack. And then they clean up Finn Osborne to Sam Murray, and he goes down the line. And he picks up Will McCarthy.
Yeah, Will McCarthy, too far out to score. He's got a lovely left leg, set sail for goal. It gets out the back and it just holds up in the goal square. He was looking for Marklew, who was in a wrestle with Jacobs. In the end, it's through for a minor score. The Rovers go to 1-4-10. Myrtleford 1 straight 6 on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. Myrtleford took the kick in very quickly. Brad Freak was still writing down his stats on his 40 winks. And they got it out there on the far side of the ground. Jacobs pinpoints a kick inboard, finds Bedendo, former thirds captain, just edge of the centre square, Freaky.
Yeah, it was a couple of weeks ago we saw Austin Wicks do the run with roll with Elliot Power. Looks at the moment when Brodie Filo's out there, he's sitting pretty close to Brodie around the ground as well, so one to keep an eye on for the day.
Ball's gone out of bounds, left to centre wing on the far side. The Wang Rovers searching for their 8th win of the year. They've got a 7-4 record at present, sitting 4th on the table. And the Saints attempting to win their 2nd game of the season. Of course, their only win was up at the McNamara Reserve versus the Wang Rovers in that game that ended early that day due to the Will Cup. Steer line goal of the day from Will McCarthy. An absolute beauty. And the Rovers get a handy goal, Chris Mitchell, for Waters.
Yeah, ripper goal against the runner play a little bit. They've been putting some great pressure on their half forwards, the Hawks, and capitalise there. Will on his probably non-preferred foot right on the boundary from about 35 out. Great goal.
Sam Murray up to 6 disposals early on the 40 wing stat sheet. Jack Garish is up to 5 as well, and Mitch Del Bosco's had the 5 disposals for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints on the 40 wing stat sheet as well.
That was a beautiful finish from Will McCarthy, who highly rated the Rovers camp, set sail from about 45 metres out, something from nothing really, and he's got some real talent. does Will McCarthy. So the Rovers, 2 goals. The Myrtleford Alpine Saints, 1. Still yet to reach the halfway mark of this opening quarter. Oh, Marklew. He looks on today, Alex Marklew. He marks it half forward from the garish kick. He could kick this, Al Marklew. He's this sort of operator. He's tied up against the boundary, 50 metres out. He looks like he's wanting to do the team thing here, but I'm telling you right now, Chriso, he believes he can kick this goal, does Al Marklew.
Yeah, well, he's going to have a shot, I think, but the distance might test him.
He's going to set sail from tied up against the... It has a wonderful mark from Will Christie. It was almost going through the goals. He's marked it on the goal line, turns around, bang. That's what Will Christie can do. The Rovers have got 3 goals. 3 goals, 4-22. The Myrtleford Alpine Saints, 1 straight 6. That's the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. We've played 13 minutes opening term.
Yeah, well, nearly went through, didn't it? He probably could have shepherded it through, big Will Christie, but he's had a great start to the game too, and showing lots of composure, playing with 2 tools at the moment, and Shane Gaston going to take the ruck.
If we go around the grounds quickly, in the Ovens of Murray at the moment, Wangaratta to an early 25-point lead against the Raiders, a 5-point lead to the Wodonga Bulldogs in that game against Lavington Panthers, and Wangaratta Magpies out to a 13-point lead against North Albury.
Gee, how good's Will Christie? This is the first time I've seen him live. He's been so involved in this first term. What a talent. Ball goes to ground. Riccardi for the Saints. A big hook kick on the right foot down towards the arc of the 50. Winner Irving playing in front of McQuaid. Jace McQuaid, though, picks it up, gets it back to Sam Murray, then on to Ledger and back to Murray, who wants to get onto that left foot and goes down the line here. Good contest there. Jake Sharp got hands to it. Finn Osborne, little pop-up ball. Nolan knocked it back to ground. McQuaid goes again, and then he's brought down and holding the ball. I thought it might have been without the footy. What do you think, Chris Mitchell?
I thought it was a bit harsh.
Yeah, same here. McPherson's ended up with it for the Saints. Will Nolan is about 45 out. He's the man on the mark. McPherson here. Ash has got it. Now, what's he going to do? It might be test his range. He's going to try and centre it to the top of the goal square. Winner Irving's marked it.
How?
Yeah, it beat both Ledger and McQuaid. And Sam Murray would be absolutely fuming with that, Chris Mitchell.
Yeah, you called it really well, Lukey. It sort of went over the top of 2 Rovers defenders. They couldn't get a hand on it. And Winter Irving had no pressure and pretty much marked unattended.
This will bring it back to a 10-point margin. I reckon he's...
Didn't look good off the boot.
That in. He's missed it. He's blown it. So Winner Irving, 20 out directly in front, has missed it. Panda.
Just poked at it, didn't he? He didn't really kick through it with any venom, so...
Goodness. So
costly.
22 plays 7 on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. Macca's time clock's gone 16 first term.
When you're a young side, things haven't gone your way in season 2023, and you come to an opposition's ground like that, you have to finish. Will Christie's taken another great mark for the Rovers. And all of a sudden, they've transitioned the footy to half forward. Look at how much space is out the back. Boyd's kicked to a juggling Finn Osborne, who had a whole paddock in front of him, and he just mucked it up. All he had to do was mark that, Chriso, and in the end, it's gone out of bounds for a throw-in.
Nearly got his own work back, didn't he? It wasn't a great handball, but a great transition play for the Hawks, and that's where they've opened up the Saints.
Freaky, that's a bit of a concern for mine, that transition football. We've seen a few times the Rovers got out the back today.
Yeah, with the Saints wanting to play the corridor, they've got to be really pinpoint with those disposals and hitting their targets, because especially on a dry day like today, the ball, with the leg speed that the Rovers have got, is really going to hurt them going the other way.
A few whistles and a free kick against the Rovers after all of it, and it's going to go the way of Riley Sharp, the captain. Broadcast side, half back. The ground in ripping nick here at the WJ Finlay Oval. Hasn't seen much footy as Murray floats across and tries to take an intercept mark for the Rovers. McCarthy on hands and knees. His hand pass was intercepted by Bren, who kicks to half forward. Curtis up against Chamberlain in a foot race. And Simon, the ever-experienced man, just taps it over the boundary line and earns his team a restart. 60 out from home. The Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard, the Rovers 22, the Saints 7. We've played 17. Macca's time clock. First quarter for A-grade oils and batteries.
Perfect day for footy. Mostly cloudy in Wang. Looking at a top of 15. We've probably already reached that. Here's Riccardi. Try to get it to Damon Harrington. Del Bosco comes in. Bottom of the pack. Wrapped up by the Rovers. And again, we're going to have another stoppage. Freaky will grab the leading possession getter for both teams in the opening term, thanks to 40 Wings.
Yeah, Sam Murray with 8 and 5 to Mitch Del Bosco for the Saints.
McPherson quickly on the boot. Inside 50 for the Saints here. Netball court end. McQuaid, though, mopping up for the Rovers. Trying to get it to Sam Murray. Addison Bedendo come in. McPherson, right foot snap on goal. Touched. Right on the line by Chamberlain. And it's gone through for one behind. So 22 plays 8. On the Boys Corner Cafe scoreboard, Macca's time clock has gone 18, and so we go back down to Chris Mitchell for Waters.
Yeah, he locked it off the boot there, McPherson. Doesn't have enough juice on it, but promising signs there for the Saints.
Similar to the game a couple of weeks ago, Lukey, that you and I did against Lavington. They had plenty of opportunities, up to 6 inside 50s already. The Alpine Saints in this first quarter just need to be a bit more clinical when they go forward.
Yep, that's it, Freaky.
22 plays 8 on the Paulies Corner Cafe scoreboard. Garish flicked it back to McNamara. Had a couple of really good weeks. Paddy Murray's hand pass hung a long time in the air for Charles Ledger, and Garish tried to keep it in. He wasn't able to. And the young man in front of us is going to toss the ball back into play. 70 out from the Myrtleford Alpine Saints goal. Haven't won since round 4 in the SSNA Ovens and Murray. Round 13 action today. The Rovers in 4th, the Saints in 8th. Good throw in from the young man. Garish, another 40 wings disposal. Kick down the wings, getting intercepted though by Riley Forrest, who kept Jacob Conlon to just the one goal a couple of weeks ago. And the Saints are looking to go and attack again. Good kick from Forrest. Kicks right in front of our commentary position. 80 out from Myrtleford's goal. This is Tyler Harrington. Tied up against the boundary. Looks inboard. Kicks to a dangerous position. Bren leads out. Good fist from Murray in the end. Roving beautifully. Riccardi, kick on goal. Is across the face again. Not going to make the distance. McPherson tries to keep it in. Doesn't. Not able to in the end. Blowing a few chances here, the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. Boundary throw in. 5 out from their goal. Freaky inside 50 count there. Owning the territory here. Not putting on the scoreboard.
Yeah, 7 Myrtleford, 8 in favour of the Rovers just at the moment, but they've had multiple entries in the last 5 minutes of the game. The ball's really lived in their forward half.
Yeah, it was a great kick into Brown. He just couldn't quite grab it. And Riccardi's roving was fantastic, but they just couldn't quite finish off for Saints. Now here's Capillari at ground level. Bran just pounced upon by the Rovers. Completely outnumbered, and the ball's going to be wrapped up again. So 22 plays 8. The Rovers with the lead here. Opening term here. WJ Finlay Oval. Round 13 of 18 in the O&M. Alex McCarthy, the big clearing ball out of defence. Then Boy got a fist to it. Ended up in the hands of Mark Clue. Gee, that was a clever little kick to Gaston. They're on the half-forward flank, the Rovers, and they're coming quickly. Going inside 50. Boy gets a bouncing ball. He's onto it now and kicks a goal. So there you go. The Saints couldn't capitalise up this end of the ground. Transition footy, and the Rovers get one, and that hurts the Saints. Chris Mitchell.
Yeah, that long kick over the top just has really been hurting him. You summed it up beautifully, Lukey. But the transition football is catching them off guard, getting outnumbered in their forward half for the Hawks, and they're capitalising. What's that? Their 4th goal, 4-28 to 1. 8. The Saints have had heaps of territory, just haven't made the most of it.
I really love what the Rovers are doing at the moment, getting everybody up the ground and knowing that they can break away with their leg speed, and they're really just kicking to space. Tom Boyd then, he put the afterburners on and just ran past a few Myrtleford defenders, and it was a really good gut running by him.
The transition football from the Wangaratta Rovers would be causing Craig Miller and the Saints some real concern. They've won a free kick here in the middle of the ground. They just need to get something on the scoreboard here. Austin Wicks punches. Oh, beautiful leap out the back from Bedendo. He got up really high. It spilled out here to Bren. They have to kick a goal, and they don't. Oh, another wayward finish from Declan Bren, who snapped around the corner. Yes, he was under some pressure, but they got to start nailing a few of these, the Saints. 1-3-9. The Rovers 4-4-28 in the Paulies Corner Cafe scoreboard. We have played 21 minutes opening term.
It's Simon Curtis in the goal square by himself. His opponent come up to the contest. He just had to give a little handball over the top, and it would have been a Joe the Goose goal for Simon Curtis, but good pressure there by the Rovers defender.
Chris Mitchell, they're not doing much wrong. They just can't finish at the moment, the Saints.
Yeah, spot on, Lukey. They just need a little bit of composure, a little bit of footy smarts, and like Freaky said, a hand pass over the top would have been a certain goal. But, the Hawks are on top. It look like they might kick another one here.
Yeah, in transition again to Alex Mark Clue, and it's just missed. Gee, they're moving it quickly. Like Freaky said, they're getting numbers back, and they're just streaming forward, and that was just a case of Alex Mark Clue getting a quick shot on goal, and it has missed. Panda?
Through for a minor score, so both teams kicking a bit wayward at the minute. 4-5-29 the Rovers. The Saints 1-3-9. So it's a 20-point margin on the Paulies Corner Cafe scoreboard. We've played 22 minutes, Macca's time clock. Panda Escott, Chris Mitchell, Brad Freak. Have I forgot someone? Luke Francis, there you go.
Thanks, Peter.
For the Old Town and Country Tavern, which will be pumping tonight. Beautiful day right across the region. Good hands there from young Cossa. Trying to weave through magic there was Damon Harrington. His kick was smothered. It spilled out here to Jake Sharp. His hand pass wasn't great as well. Sam Henderson picks it up. Kick inboard. Tom Boyd there for the Wangaratta Rovers. Just fell to ground at the last minute. Mark Lew's over the footy. Lots of players dive on the pill. We'll have a stoppage. 30 out from the Rovers goal. Doing a bit of attacking late stages. Opening term for A-grade oils and batteries.
20-point lead to the brown and gold. Freaky, how's our inside 50s thanks to 40 Wings?
Yeah, Rovers well on top, 11-8 at the moment.
11-8. Mark Clue again. He's been good in the opening term. Here's Alex McCarthy going to ground. Alex Jacobs and Tyler Harrington in there for the Saints, and the umpire's going to call for it. So quite cool, as we said, in Wang today. Ball up again, inside 50, Evan Street end. Rovers attacking into the ground. Here's Del Bosco, quick clearing kick. Out of the pack. Will Nolan in a one-on-one with Maraca. Chamberlain comes in, ball's gone out of bounds. And again, we'll have another throw-in. 15-6, 3-E. This is O&M Live. Again, you're with Chris Mitchell, Dan Vaccaro. And Dan Vaccaro's not here. Blake Escott, Luke Francis, and Panda.
Look at you. You've written Dan Vaccaro.
We wouldn't have ever known.
Well, I had to include him after being so low in the cricket team, I think.
He's the 12th man for a reason, is Dan Vaccaro. We might just take this opportunity to go around grounds, or am I putting Brad Freak on the spot a little bit here?
I can do that, mate.
For 40 Winks?
Yeah, Yarrawonga out to a 38-point lead over the Rovers.
Wow.
Wodonga Bulldogs out to a 14-point lead over Lavington, and the Magpies up to a 24-point lead against the North Albury Hoppers.
Danger signs for a few sides at the minute in round 13, Ovens and Murray. One of those, the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. The ball's in the forward 50 here for the Rovers. Quick right foot kick from Will McCarthy. Sails out of bounds on the full. He was under a fair bit of pressure from the Myrtleford Alpine Saints, who trail by 20. 9 plays 29. Del Bosco going to be the recipient of that kick in. Deep back pocket goes short. It's in the hand of Tom Sparks, who made his debut against Albury. Switches the footy to the showground side. Levi Young spots up something at right half back. It's Jake Sharp, I should say, in a bit of space. Finds Winter Irving. This is good build-up play here from the Saints. They flick it around. Curtis on the deck in the middle of the ground. The hand pass wasn't great. Capillari just punts it inside forward 50. McPherson out the back. Got the front spot. Worked hard. He gets around McNamara, who hold on to the tackle. McPherson just punts it back. Comes in board. Riley Sharp was getting held. Free kick to the Myrtleford Alpine Saints.
Really good play there by the Saints as well. Just nice bit of composure. But again, as we've touched on with them at times this year, that their better ball users got their hands on the footy through the middle of the ground. The Curtis and Capillari were there, and young McPherson as well. Just really good awareness to not rather bomb away from 50 and just put it to the top of the square. And a little bit of panic from the Hawks defenders has ended up in a free kick for the Saints.
Yeah, just overusing it a little bit, I reckon, the Saints in the centre, and the Hawks are putting the pressure on. They're trying to go through the corridor. It's not always working, but they're not going to die wondering.
So Riley Sharp has to kick this just to bring the Myrtleford Alpine Saints back into the contest, and he does. Directly in front, 20 metres out. Myrtleford Alpine Saints get their second. They go to 2-3-15. The Rovers 4-5-29 on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard as we tick up towards time on the Macca's time clock.
And they are keeping Simon Curtis in the goal square, which is an interesting one. They are getting it down there enough, probably not keeping it in their forward 50, that defensive pressure.
He's only had the 3 disposals at the moment. Simon Curtis on the 40 Winks stat sheet. So, as you touch on there, Chris, so he was up the ground in that last passage of play, so it might be something that they might have to look at it at the back end of this quarter or even a quarter time.
Yeah, so just a 14-point lead to the Rovers, so the Saints could well be in front. They've been their own worst enemy in the first term. Del Bosco gets brought down by Will McCarthy on the half-back flank for the Saints, and the umpire's going to call for it right on quarter time here. 27 gone on the Macca's. Forward, Wilson with a quick ball over the back. Forrest tried to get a fist to it. Mark Clue grabs it, snaps on goal and kicks it. He's kicked a goal, Mark Clue, all clear given. 35 plays 15, and that's a double for Alex on the Paulie's Corner Cafe scoreboard. Macca's time clock has gone 27.5 as we go back down to Chris Mitchell for Waters.
Yeah, that's 2 for Mark Clue in his 100th or in one game, but it just didn't sit well there. I think it was Riley Forrest, bounced over his head, and he was in a great position, front spot on Marklew, and went over his head, landed in Marklew's hands. Two Saints defenders tried to tackle him, but couldn't bring him down, and directly in front from about 5 metres out. But another goal against the run of play, and that's what's hurting the Saints.
Brad Freak for 40 winks.
Yeah, 8 disposals for Sam Murray on the 40 wing stat sheet. Mitch Del Bosco up to 7 for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints.
Gerish trying to win his own pill on the inside. He's wrapped up by Myrtleford Alpine Saints youngster there, and Toby Cossa, the big ruckman. Big task for him today up against Will Christie and Shane Gaston. Costa does well to eke out a clearance. McNamara, the spare man, off the square for the Rovers. Picks it up beautifully at ground level. Kicks to half forward. McCarthy in a contest there against Jacobs. Elijah Amory did really well. McCarthy just kicks out a little left foot tumbler. It's been intercepted here by the Saints. This is Tyler Harrington. Deep in his own D50. Late stages opening term. And it's the Rovers 35 leading the Saints 15. Halfback here, Levi Young, likes an option down the line. He finds Reece Grant back in for his first game today from an ACL injury, Lukey, which he did in this fixture last year. Good to see Reece back.
Absolutely, Panda. And he goes to Winner Irving, and then Winner Irving swings into the half-forward flank. Riley Sharp in a one-on-one with McQuaid. And then Maraka, ball knocked out by Cody Shutt. We're going to have a boundary throw in here, Chris Mitchell for Waters.
Yeah, I was just wondering, Brody Philo's the stats freaky. How many touches for him?
Yeah, he hasn't had a touch on the 40 wing stat sheet yet, as we touched on. Austin Wicks has been doing that run with a roll. Obviously, he went off in the first 5 seconds of the game with the blood rule as well, which would have taken 5 to 10 minutes out of his game time this first quarter as well.
So when the Rovers have gone forward each time, they've scored so...
You can't write that down as a stat as well. That was on quarter time from Philo.
Harsh.
And that brings a first break at WJ Finlay Oval. And at quarter time, it is the Wang Rovers on their home turf, 5-5-35, leading the Myrtleford Alpine Saints 2-3-15. This is O&M Live. And remember, on O&M Live, you will not miss a thing.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumb barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury-Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything. Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? one for sport, and one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTafe is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTafe is the place for you.
GoTafe is leading,
inspiring,
hands-on,
flexible, fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Quarter time here at the WJ Finlay Oval. It's the Myrtleford Alpine Saints up against the Wangaratta Rovers. It's the Rovers holding on to a 20-point lead at quarter time, 5-5-35 over the Saints 2-3-15 as we go to Brad Freak for our Optus quarters best in that opening term.
Yeah, Sam Murray I thought was really good for the Wangaratta Rovers in that first quarter there. Also thought Will Christie in the ruck and Alex Marklew as well were really, really strong for them. Mitch Del Bosco for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints and Josh Maraka as well to start off that early in that first quarter was outstanding for him. Just get me breath back, Panda. You throwing me under the bus there.
I've thrown you right under the bus because you have.
I've just run back to Anyways, we'll pot on. We'll go into the 40-wing stat sheet as well. In that first quarter, the Wangaratta Rovers really won the inside 50 battle in the end, 14 entries to 9 in their favour. But Myrtleford had their opportunities and have the 20-point lead. But they probably should be a lot closer in this game as well, as we touched on. Sam Murray, 8 disposals. Probably the one big surprise is Brody Philo with the 0 touches in that first quarter. Yeah. The tag from Austin Wicks is really working for the Saints. And for the Saints side of things, Mitch Del Bosco's up to the 7 disposals and Brody Riccardi's had the 5 as well.
Chris Mitchell, you've been boundary side at the huddles at quarter time. What do the coaches have to say?
Yeah, thanks, Panda. Had enough time to get to both. So 12 tackles apparently the Saints and nowhere near enough according to Craigie Miller. Cute, lazy, coughing it up, own worst enemy. So I'm quoting him at the moment, giving them too many chances and too many free balls. So their own worst enemy. On the flip side, Sammy Murray pretty happy with how the Hawks are going. Great start, he said, showing lots of composure and getting the ball out the back, which is the key to their success at the moment. And the pressure's been really good around the footy.
Yeah, they have that transition football has definitely been a way they played that opening quarter. Around the grounds really quickly in other games as well. Quarter time, Yarrawonga 45 lead the Raiders just 1 behind. Wodonga Bulldogs 28 lead the Lavington Panthers 8. The Rovers here obviously 35-15 over the Saints and the Magpies 41 over North Albury 9. For Wangaratta Motor Group here on 15-6 3-E. A beautiful tap down from Christie to McCarthy and Brody's on the board. There we go. Brody Philo with a 40 wings disposal. It's a big penetrating kick to half forward. Jacobs, who started very well for the Saints, picks it up. Hand pass it to Hugh Wales, who's sold himself into a lot of trouble. Free kick for holding the ball. Garish plays on, finds Marklew in the right forward pocket. Oh, Huey must have felt pretty ordinary in that position. Chris Mitchell for Waters.
Yeah, no doubt about holding the ball, and they swooped on him, didn't they? And that gave Marklew plenty of opportunity to mark that one on his chest with no one near him. So another shot at goal.
So he'll kick from tied up in the right forward pocket. Set sail with a drop punt. That is a beautiful finish from Marklew, who just looks on in game 101. He's got 3. And the margin's out to 26 points. 41-15 on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard. The Rovers lead.
Really can see the Rovers think that their leg speed is going to be what really hurts the Saints today. Obviously, even in that passage there with Hugh Wales holding the ball, just straight onto it, Jack Gerish played on, found the quick option in Mark Lew and went back and slotted a really nice set shot there as well. So their leg speed of the Rovers today is really hurting the Saints.
Great work by McCarthy there at the centre square too, wasn't it?
Mm.
Came from the ground, Alex Marklew, against the Panthers last week, and it looked like a really bad ankle injury. Not sure what he's done on the track this week, whether he's trained or not. But
it's just Elmer Fudd doing those sorts of things, I reckon, Lukey, keeping everyone on their toes.
He's absolutely fine today.
Carried off the ground last
week. He did. 2 trainers. I thought he'd be gone for a month. He's back 7 days later, and he's
got 3 goals.
Having a heavy impact. That's it. Rightio.
Lucky he's not a racehorse.
Henderson. Shut. Alex McCarthy. You're right, Freaky. And then Christie over the top to Philo. And then just got tackled as he got it. Grant spinning. Got it off to Jacobs. Into Capillari. Ball goes to ground. Maracas at the bottom here. And the umpire called it quickly. Garish and also Shut over the top of him. So we've played 2 minutes in the second term thanks to Mackers. 41 plays 15. The Rovers up, Panda.
They are. Christie getting his hands on the pill as well in the ruck. And we've got another stoppage right in front of our commentary position, which is on the Yarrawonga side of the WJ Finlay Oval. About 80 out from the Rovers goal. Oh, Christie put his head over the football brilliantly, and he won himself a brave free kick there. Advantage has been paid. McCarthy hand passes on to Gerish. Kick right across goals. Has found Wilson. This is Dylan in a lot of space. Probably just a little bit too far out to score. Asks for the lead to come at him. He does, and Boyd marks. Outstretched hands right in front of Riley Forrest, and Tom Boyd will line up 40 metres out in a slight angle.
It took it at its highest peak, didn't it? Or just made no chance there for the Saints to spoil him. But, yeah, they're controlling the footy at the moment. They brought the pressure at the start of this second quarter, and it's all Rovers game at the moment.
I really like the composure there from Dylan Wilson as well to wait for the right lead. There was a couple other options, but they might have been a bit trickier kicks. Waited for the space and waited for Boyd to have a leading lane to run into. So really good composure there by the young player.
It was a smart kick across goals from Gerish to find Wilson in a paddock as well. And Tom Boyd, fresh off 3 goals last week, will come in. You can hear the come-ons through our effects, Mike. He's got his first. The Rovers have got 7. In fact, that's 2 from Boyd. Looking ominous here at the WJ Finlay Oval. A beautiful set shot. 47 plays 15 on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard. Still early on this second term.
Yeah, they just need to hang around, don't they? It's been a... But there's plenty of time left in the game. They just need to get their hands on the footy in the centre. And I think that's the key to the Rovers at this start of the second quarter.
Just need to be able to win some footy, as you touched on there, Chris. I'm just trying to think about what Myrtleford can do to try and slow this down. I think the main thing to do is just really good ball use and not waste the footy when they have got it.
Yeah, need to dig in here, the Saints. It could get ugly. Christie at the bottom of that, Cossa over the top. Rightio, let's have a look here. About to reset. Man in Green's got it. Sends it up in the air. Christie got a left hand to it. Maraca quickly turns it over, though, to Smith for the Rovers. Didn't go the required distance. Umpire said play on. Ball spat out the back of the pack. And then coming off the line was Bedendo. Tapped it along the ground when it really needed to be picked up. Philo and then Brand. Quick one to Maraca. Got swung around. This is Capillari. And Sam Murray right in his hammer, read it so beautifully. And then a hand pass off to Alex McCarthy. Spits one out now to Paddy Murray. They get to centre wing and they hit Will McCarthy, Panda.
That was just brilliant play from Sam Murray, who made himself a presence in that contest, won it and repelled pretty quickly.
And the half-forwards are leading up so well, aren't they? And that's they're giving a target to kick to.
Yeah, and ball use at the moment as well is separating these two sides. Murray back in his hands again. That's Sam. Kicks to half-forward. Amory outmarks the taller Del Bosco. Plays on. Kicks to Boyd, who's marked in the pocket. He could have hand-passed it over. Boyd will line up for 2 inside a minute.
Just really good ball use as well. Sam Murray going down the line as well. And, yeah, just picking them apart at the moment, the Rovers are. They're just all over the place, the Myrtleford defence. But that happens when you get the quick ball movement. Your defence isn't settled. You don't get back on your man properly. And it's really, really good play by the Rovers at the moment. Just really unsettling the Myrtleford defence.
So Tom Boyd lining up for goal number 3. Marklu's already kicked 3. This would be 6 between the Twin Towers. This to take the margin out to 38 points. You can write it in your book. The Rovers are on. Champagne football here at the WJ Finlay Oval. They go to 8.5.53. The Myrtleford Alpine Saints 2.3.15. That's on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard. Second term.
Yeah, it's getting a bit ugly. As you said before, they just need to change something up, I think, at the moment. I don't know if they've got a loose man back, but we'll keep an eye out for that. They need to take the game on. Probably no point trying to protect anything at the moment. They need a few goals on the board.
The loose man they have used in the last few weeks, Chriso, has been Jake Sharp. It looks like it might be Alex Jacobs out down there at the moment. It's not on a man in defence for the Myrtleford.
Yeah, this game needs a response from the Mountain Men. They're shut. Trying to get the handball out to Alex McCarthy, and then a wide one to Will McCarthy, to Will Nolan, back to Alex McCarthy, then over the top to Shutt, and Shutt, quick hands, ball goes to the deck. Wicks try to spit one out at ground level now. Is punched along. Wicks again on the boot, sends it forward for the Saints hurriedly. Ball to the 7.5 forward position. Out the back now is Sam Murray charging after it. Taps along the ground now, picks it up. Wants to come back broadcast side. Left foot kick finding Williamson, so that's good footy. Now, what are they going to do here, the Rovers? They've got a few out. Christie sits under. He's playing a terrific game. What a player this guy is. Then a sweeping hand pass trying to find Alex McCarthy. Cosses right onto him. Swings it right out. Garish now, exciting player. Finds it on the second attempt. Jacobs breaks the tackle to Garish and he goes into the middle and the Rovers are out.
Yeah, they're out here through Joel Smith, who's got a paddock in front of him. Kicks into the pocket. Well done there by Levi Young. Out the back here, picked up by Amory. There's a man on the goal square. That man's Tom Boyd. He hand passes over the top here to Wilson. Bang goal. Just like that. Another goal for the Wangaratta Rovers. That was a little too easy for mine. They've got their 9th goal. 59 plays 15 on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard. That's 4 goals in this second quarter in just 8 minutes of football. And Chriso, I reckon that pressure that Craig Miller talked about just hasn't come yet from the Myrtleford Alpine Saints.
No, it definitely hasn't. And the Rovers have got their tails up, no doubts about that. But their lesser lights are really shining. Your Amory's, your McNamara's, I think they've been outstanding. Big Christie as well, he's been unstoppable. So they've got plenty of winners across the ground. Saints need a few senior players to stand up, I think.
Alex McCarthy's the one for the Rovers in this second quarter, really stood up. He's already up to the 7 disposals in this quarter. The Rovers have only gone inside 55 times this quarter and kicked the 4 goals. So every time they're going in there, they've just been able to put it on the scoreboard and been really clinical as they go forward.
Back in the heart at WJ Finlay Oval. Hope you're enjoying the action. 15-6, 3-E. O&M live. Williamson, I thought, caught one high. Umpire said play on. Riccardi now picks it up, plays on. Hurriedly kick on the boot. Riley Sharp came out, got hands to it. Grabs it on the second chance. Hurrigan got one to Del Bosco, brought to ground, and he'll be gone. And Shuttle take it. Didn't agree, Chris O?
No chance to get no prior opportunity. Before that, they had heaps of prior opportunity, but anyway.
Tyler Harrington inside 50, the netball called in. Gee, these Saints defence are battling away. Out the back now, Boy got legged, I thought. Umpire said play on. Gaston hurriedly on the boot, rolling ball, and taken across the line by Grant. So 60 plays 15 on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard. The Rovers with a mighty break. McDonald's time clock has gone just over 9 minutes in the second term, Panda.
If you're hearing that name, Gaston, that's because he's a late in for the big Ibis, Toby Murray. Couldn't get up for this game as it trickles over the boundary line right in front of where we're calling from. This awesome call box here at the WJ Finlay Oval. Good to be here today as well, Luke.
Yeah, beautiful, Panda.
So just between centre wing and half forward here for the Wangaratta Rovers, who are on fire at the WJ Finlay Oval. A ground they love playing at. Riccardi breaks away from the stoppage, kicks right into the middle of the ground. McQuaid just pushed Riley Sharp off the ball. Well done by Jace McQuaid, who got a hand pass out. It was an important one to McNamara. Look at him stream through in numbers here, the Rovers. Osborne kicks long. Riley Forrest out the back. A beautiful hand pass from Philo onto Mark Lou. He doesn't know what to do at the minute. He snaps it back towards goal. A smart kick and finds a man who sent the ball in. Finn Osborne, 40 metres out on a slight angle. Beautiful play from Mark Luke.
Well, you said it in your call, Panda. They were just streaming forward. They're outworking the Saints at the moment, particularly in the midfield. There was about 6 options, all hand passing, but I think Elmer Fudd had too much time. In the end, he didn't know what to do with it, but they were lining up for that one.
So Finn Osborne, the boy from Corolla, played the first few games of the year, played in the O&M Interleague under-18 game, set sail, and it's across the face and a minor score. They've been accurate this quarter, 9-7 the Rovers now. 61 plays the Myrtleford Alpine Saints 2-3-15. We've played 10 minutes, Freaky, on the Macca's time clock in this second term.
Yeah, Alex McCarthy still 7 disposals in this second quarter on the 40-wing stat sheet. He's been everywhere. 7 inside 50s to 2, and looks like the ball will probably be coming back in again, Lukey.
Yeah, Freaky. So Christie's taken the mark, 60 out, dishes off to Nolan. Nolan, squaring kick, trying to find McNamara. Garish rode it perfectly. Left foot going inside. Look at that division. And Shane Gaston comes out and takes the mark, Chris Mitchell.
Yeah, too easy at the moment. So much room. The forwards are working together, creating space for their other forwards to lead into those leading lanes that Freaky mentioned before. But yeah, Big Gaston's going to line up for one now. They've got 9 on the board, might be number 10.
I'm really liking just the energy that the Rovers are giving out there at the moment. Every time there's a really good pass, you can see them getting around each other. You can see the teams really gelling well at the moment today. It's really one of the highlights of their game, I think.
Gee, they're opening right up here on the Saints, the Rovers. It's been a dazzling display so far. Here goes Shane Gaston to the netball court's end, and he misses that one. So 62 plays 15 on the CMB Truck and Bus scoreboard. Macca's time clock has gone close to 12 minutes. Second term as we go to Blake Escott for the Old Town and Country Tavern.
Yeah, the pressure just seems a little bit off for mine. You can see the body language now as well. This is where you need your leaders to really stand up for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. One of those is Del Bosco, who brings it out of defence once again. Kicks over to the Norm inside of the WJ Finlay. So all Rovers working as a team in numbers. Osborne, hand passes to Nolan, and he's just got enough space to get on that trusty left foot and find the teammate here in McQuaid. It's between centre and half forward. Hand passes it to the running man. They go to half forward. Boyd! A Mawson's concrete mark of the day. Took the ball once again, Chris Mitchell at the highest point. A brilliant mark from Tom Boyd.
Yeah, when he on the lead like that, full stretched, he's really hard to defend, isn't he? He's a long way out at the moment, but yeah, the Saints are all under pressure at the moment. Their defenders is getting the ball in such velocity and speed. That quick movements, it's ripping them apart.
9 inside 50s on the 40-wing stat sheet to 2 in this quarter. 5 marks inside the forward 50 for the Wangaratta Rovers as well.
9 to 2, Freaky.
In this second quarter, Lukey, yep.
So you'll set sail from probably 50 metres, the paint of the 50. Not much of an angle here, Tom Boyd, but he's on fire. He's kicked 3 goals, and I reckon you could almost hasn't made the distance in the end. I was about to say put it down for 4. Never go the early crow. Through for a minor score. The Wangaratta Rovers 9-9-63 now. And the Myrtleford Alpine Saints 2-3-15 on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. Second term for Wang Motor Group. It's played about 13 and a bit minutes. Lukey?
Yeah, Panda, we heard it from Freaky. Inside 50s, thanks to 40 winks this term, 9 to 2. Gee, ball back to the centre of the ground. Paddy Murray on the boot. And then Damon Harrington. Got it out now to Jake Shark, quickly on the boot. Just a wobbly old talk to the half-forward line, but here's Sam Murray. And then gets it out to McNamara, true half-back flank for the Rovers. Wants to come backward of centre wing to Christie. He has been absolutely terrific. Turns that one over, though, to Maraka. Maraka trying to find McPherson, just bounces ahead of him. McNamara's after him quickly. McPherson now gets it on the boot. Low driving ball. Came off McQuaid's boot, heading towards the line, right as centre wing. Ball's gone out of bounds. Broadcast side as we go back down to Chris Mitchell for Waters.
Yeah, I was just thinking they haven't had a forward 50 entry for a while. I think Freaky brought up the stat. Was it 9 to 2 before, and it's probably been 5 goals already for the Rovers. But yeah, the Saints haven't got it down there.
Cossa and Will Christie in the ruck. Garish, how many 40 winks for Garish, Freaky?
He's up to 12 for the game now.
He's been everywhere. Interesting kick from Paddy Murray for the Rovers across goal, but Sam Henderson's the first one there, and he breaks away from a tackle with pace. Almost had to bounce the ball. Here's Amory. He's been very good this quarter as well. Chip kick up to half forward. The man on fire, Boyd, marks too far out to score. Chips it into the pocket. Philo marks. Hangs on to it in the end. He was under a lot of pressure from Austin Wicks, who's wearing him like a glove. And if anyone can kick this goal tied up against the boundary, it's Brody, 40 metres out.
Well, Austin Wicks is wearing him like a glove. He's only had the 3 disposals in the game so far, but really good work rate there from Brody Philo to try and break it and get forward and try and get rid of Austin Wicks, and took a really nice strong mark in the pocket there.
So Brody Philo, tied up against the boundary. He'll kick a drop punt. He sets sail. He gives it an almighty ride, and it's through for a minor score in the end. Just crossed the face of goal. Mark Lou marked it, but it was already through the points. 9-10 now, a few in a row for the Wangaratta Rovers, 64. The Myrtleford Alpine Saints 2-3-15 on the CMV Truck and Bus second quarter scoreboard. We've played halfway through this term, Lukey.
Yeah, 49-point margin. 49 points in it. Rovers up. Jacobs, kick smothered by Garish. Ball out of bounds here on the far side, just outside defensive 50 for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. So the Rovers come off that spirited win against the Panthers in Lavington 7 days ago. They really knuckled down and found something extra. Might go to you, Freaky.
Yeah, we go around the grounds at the moment. Yarrawonga too good for the Wodonga Raiders, 64-27. Only a 1 point margin at Martin Park now, 40-39 in favour of the Wodonga Bulldogs, and Wangaratta Magpies too good for North Albury at the moment.
Ball back out of bounds here, and the Saints had the bye in round 12, so they haven't played for 14 days. They were solid at home versus the Albury Tigers last time out without winning. A 5-goal margin in that one, Freaky.
I was going to mention, I wonder how much of a factor is coming off the bye might be in this performance as well. They were really strong that day against Albury and then had the extended break with the younger side as well and break that bit of continuity they had. I wonder how much of a factor that is out there at the moment.
Just like the AFL, Freaky, the bye curse. Here's a bit of pace from Damon Harrington, who's got a little bit of space running through the middle of the ground. Kicking board wasn't great. It was a bit of a tumbler. Allowed Paddy McNamara just to take a nice intercept for the Wangaratta Rovers. He's having a good couple of weeks, Paddy McNamara. Played the last 8 games, 19 disposals against Lavington last week. The Rovers have it on the far side. Henderson's kick was a shocker. All it hit was grass. Levi Young picks it up for the Saints. His kick wasn't great as well. Good fist from Shutt. Henderson able to win it back. Too easy there from Alex McCarthy to get around a tackler. Nolan, left foot kick out really wide, finds Cody Shutt in front of the famous old scoreboard here at the Wangaratta Rovers. Centre wing, 64 plays 15. Second quarter action for Wangaratta Motor Group. Macca's time clock played 17 minutes.
Yeah, Wang Rovers in complete control of this footy game this afternoon here at WJ Finlay. Ball out of bounds. Again, he left to centre wing on the far side, Chris Mitchell.
Yeah, not much doing for the Saints at the moment. Craig Miller's come down from the coach's box and doing coaching on the boundary, having long chats to lots of players, particularly Hugh Wales before. So I think he's wants to change their style of play, but they can't get their hands on the footy at the moment.
I can see why Dan Vaccaro, Freaky, maybe made that swap with you as well, looking at the scores in the other games.
Well, he's Dogs man anyway. That's why he's down there.
Henderson, bottom of the pack.
The 12th man.
Well, if I was Dan Vaccaro, I would have pulled the pin and stayed at home and watched the Pies today, but I'm not. I'm a bigger man than that, so...
You're a team man, Freaky, aren't you?
The Pies are up by 50 points too.
Really?
So, yep.
All games are pretty ordinary at the moment by the looks of things.
Capillari out of the pack, gets the clearance to Jake Sharp. He was under a stack of pressure. Then Young gets it off to Sparks. Cossa on the half volley, picks it up on the second attempt, spits it out the back. Sparks again here. Has it, then gets it back to Young. They really need a kick here. They're under a stack of pressure. Curtis comes in to help out. Back to Sparks, about third position in the last 30 seconds. Wicks, ball went to ground. McNamara, whistle here. And it looks like it's going to go the way of Aussie Wicks, Panda.
A free kick here at half-back. Showground side. Wants to switch the football, kick it right into the middle of the ground. Just no option, really. And McCarthy, this is Alex.
He's been nearly their best player, I reckon, McCarthy.
9 disposals in this second quarter on the 40-wing stat sheet.
Who told you to do his disposals, Freaky?
You did, mate.
Thank you very much. As Brody Philo goes onto that left foot, kicking board. Boyd out the back, Marks in a pocket of space. He wants to play. I'm not sure why when you've got 3 goals, Boydie. You wanted to try and find your mate Marklew, who fends off one. Left foot kick. That is some finish from Alex Marklew. He puts out the 2 arms, the wings, and says, look at me, boys. In game 101, he absolutely loves it. Hang on, are they just checking something here?
Oh, no.
It's another free kick to the Wangaratta Rovers, so it's a goal, and Marklew's got another free kick.
No. What was that for?
I'm not sure. Chris Mitchell, boundary side for Waters?
No, my view's obstructed, boys. No idea.
Can only be for abuse. That's all I could think. But wouldn't it be back in the middle of the ground?
I would have thought so as well. So that first goal's... Has that stayed? That first goal was a beautiful finish.
Well, you would assume so, because if it was he did kick the goal, so it would be advantage.
Yep.
He's going to get a bonus goal.
So a bonus goal for Al Marklew. And he's missed after all that.
Oh, he's stealing.
He didn't have to fend off and break out of a tackle. It was too easy for him.
He had no right to kick the first one.
No, so it was a brilliant goal. One of the goals of the year, the first one, and then he's missed his follow-up free kick shot. directly in front, 20 metres out. On the scoreboard, that's 10-11-71 now. The Myrtleford Alpine Saints 2-3-15.
That's not a new rule in the O&M this week, Panda. If you kick a left foot snap, you get a bonus shot at goal.
Maybe it was such a good finish they wanted to reward him with one.
It's possible. Young, half-back flank. Did he get to Del Bosco? No, umpire said play on. Garish bursts away, sends it inside 50. Guess who? Mark Clue, half volley, picks it up now, shimmies, and then puts on the dance. Now goes boundary side, gets onto that right foot. Nah, pulled it too neat. So 72 plays 15 on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. Macca's time clock has gone 21 minutes, second term here. Let's go to you, Freaky, on the 40-wing stat sheet.
Yeah, as Chriso touched on, Alex McCarthy absolutely dominating in this second quarter. He's up to 9 disposals on the 40-wing stat sheet. Will Christie and Jack Garish have both had 5 disposals each as well. 12 inside 50s to 4 in this second quarter as well for the Rovers.
Curtis kicks to half forward. Here's a bit of space for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. Bedendo marks, hand passes over the top to a teammate. Here's Damon Harrington, set sail, and the Myrtleford Alpine Saints have kicked their third. A wonderful finish there from Damon Harrington. Great Myrtleford Alpine Saints play. I tell you what, Chris, something to smile about for the Saints. That's their best movement all day.
Yeah, no surprise. One of their prime movers, Simon Curtis, was involved in that one. Straight through the guts it was. It was how they want to play, wasn't it? It was quick ball movement. It was running in waves. It's exactly what the Rovers have done to them today. But a big one there, a morale booster for the Saints.
Curtis has moved into more of the midfield. I think he's lined up in the centre square here now. He's up to 4 disposals in this quarter. A lot of them are coming in the last 5 minutes as well. They really need his bigger body and his leadership around the footy at 10 this quarter.
How are the clearances looking, Freaky?
Yeah, the Myrtleford were actually on top in the first quarter, and the centre clearance is 3-1. But in this quarter, the Rovers are right on top.
Riley Sharp up against Will Christie. Christie again. Curtis, though, sharked the tap and got it on the left foot and set it inside 50 with a thumping ball. Sam Murray with a swinging fist. Here's Hourigan around the body. And another one for the Saints. Second goal in 30 seconds, and didn't they need it? So 72 plays 27 on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. Macca's time clock has gone 23 minutes. We'll go back to you again, Freaky.
Yeah, in this second quarter, as we touched on, Simon Curtis up to the 5 disposals now. Alex McCarthy, as we touched on, is on 9. Only the 6 inside 50s, but obviously the last 2 that Myrtleford Alpine Saints have gone inside forward 50. They've been able to hit the scoreboard as well. 7 marks in the forward 50 for the Wangaratta Rovers from their 12 entries as well. So really good by their midfielders to lower their eyes and find the open targets.
Hey, Chris, I like the fact that they've thrown the magnets around here. How often have you seen Lockie Hourigan play forward and he's set sail with a beautiful goal?
I don't think I've ever seen it, but I do love Simon Curtis in the guts, and he got that clearance there.
Tom Capillari, you can see the body language already for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints has lifted. Their energy is up. Here's Del Bosco with a chiselling kick in towards the direction of that man Hourigan and floating across and taking a beautiful intercept as he does every week. The number 1 interceptor in the game. Sam Murray. Look at that for a kick, boys. He just pulled it at the last minute and found Kai Williamson. Philo runs past and receives the hand pass and kicks a big long one into space. Gaston, he came late, got both hands to it, wasn't able to grab it in the end. Levi Young does well for the Saints. On to Forrest, who hand passes Del Bosco. Riccardi under pressure. Capillari just fumbled at the last minute. He had Amory coming the other way. McCarthy does well, and the Rovers win it back. McCarthy has to apply a big crunching tackle on Capillari. Spills out to Williamson. Messy play at half forward. Gaston dropped what he should have marked, and the big fella recovers all right. Philo gets around 1, arcs onto the left foot, and a beautiful kick in Boyd. Finds Tom Boyd tight in the pocket. Messy play, Chriso, but they got there in the end.
Yeah, it was pretty rubbish footy, wasn't it, for a little while there? But how good's Brody Philo? Can turn on a dime, and it could have hit Will McCarthy as well, or Boyd. But beautiful play there by the prime mover in the guts.
As we touched on, Philo didn't have a touch in the first quarter. He's up to 6 now in this second quarter. He's really got going for the Rovers.
You'll argue that one on quarter time when the siren sounded. Well, our man Brody. So Tom Boyd, tightish angle, right in front of our commentary position. Will line up from 40-odd metres out. He's a beautiful drop punt. Not on that occasion. Hung it out to the right. Christie's down there. Not able to mark and doesn't make the distance or register a score in the end. Tom Boyd has 3 goals. Mark Lou's got 4. The Rovers have got 10. 10-12-72. The Saints 27. That's on our CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard as we tick up towards the 25th minute mark of the Macca's time clock.
Boundary throw in the pocket. Netball court end here. Far side. Cossa Got the first touch to it. Winner Irving scoops it up off the deck, off to Maracca. Maracca squaring ball to Levi Young. Boyd over the top has taken the mark. He's having a day out. So he'll get an attempt here. His second attempt at goal number 4, Freaky.
Yeah, he's been outstanding, especially in this second quarter as well, coming up for his 4th goal. He's probably passed off a couple that he could have kicked as well. Look, he's just really damaging inside their forward 50, and he's a great target for the Rovers.
He's ditched the drop punt. He's gone with the hook kick, and he's missed that too, I reckon. Or has he?
I reckon Normie's going to give him.
No, he's got it. 2 fingers.
I reckon that was a point from where
Yeah,
I'm
I thought it was too.
Yeah.
It's a goal anyway. Umpire's given it. So that's a major. So that's 4 for Tom Boyd in the first.
In the front spot there, wasn't he? Tried to mark it, probably could have got a fist in, I reckon. But 4 for Marklew, 4 for Boyd. They're capitalising on their chances, the Rovers. The Saints had their tails up for a second, 2 goals in 30 seconds. But yeah, back to their old ways at the moment.
Will Christie really dominating this game. He's up to 10 disposals and he's been around the ground. He's been really strong for the Wangaratta Rovers. As we touched on, Alex McCarthy up to 9 disposals in this second term.
Well, they've been doing contested mark stats as well, because I reckon Boyd's probably got 4 or 5 between him and Christie as well. As Myrtleford Alpine Saints get a clearance. Winter Irving just dropped it at the last minute. It's been a bit of an almost day for him. Here's Hugh Wales. Retreats backwards with a hand pass. Jacobs likes something inboard. It's Toby Cossa. Bit of run off half back here from Del Bosco as Cossa tried to find Del Bosco, but it just hit the deck. Wilson tried to tackle Del Bosco. A great smother from Smith on Del Bosco's kick, which was sailing inside forward 50, and the Rovers flick it across half back. A beautiful kick to the broadcast wing from Murray, and Philo takes a Mawson's concrete mark of the day. He's turning it on in this second quarter as Brody Philo.
Certainly is. That was a beauty, Panda. Then gets it back down to Tom Boyd. Half-forward flank here for the Rovers. Swings around. High ball going in. Mark Clue front spot. Winner Irving did well. Free kick against him. Over the shoulder, Chris Mitchell.
Yeah, against Reece Grant, I think. Both went up and did well not to land in his back, Grant, but must have been one over the shoulder.
Yes, and Mark Clue will get it. Grant is coming over there, leaning into his back, arm over the shoulder. So Alex with 4 on the board.
37 for the year now. Making a late charge, potentially.
Yeah, that's it, Panda.
For the Doug String.
So give him 5 in the opening half. 101st game today. You heard it. There's a sign to bring half time. And that makes it 5 for Alex. Wow, what a half from the Rovers. 84 plays 27. 84 to 27 on the CMB truck and bus scoreboard at half time. And that was a scintillating half of footy from the brown and gold. Elders halftime show coming up very shortly here on O&M Live. And remember, on O&M Live, you will not miss a thing.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury-Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything. Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Halftime show brought to you by Elders Rule. It is the Rovers who have pumped in the second quarter. They're really running away from the Saints. It is a 57-point lead to the home side, 12-12, 84 to 4-3, 27. Brad Freak is with me. Freaky, it was all a one-way show in that second term.
Yeah, it certainly was. Just the leg speed and the work of the Wangaratta Rovers was absolutely a clinical performance in that second quarter. They were outstanding across every line in that term. Markaloo and Boyd have been outstanding in that forward half, kicking 9 out of the 12 goals as well. And they've palmed off a few. Markaloo had 8 shots in the first half alone, so they could have been a lot more. And as we said, they've palmed off a couple to each other and to others as well. So they've been really damaging. If you're having 24 shots a goal in the first half from 29 entries, you're going pretty well, and you're going to be pretty hard to stop if you're going to go at that rate throughout the whole game. So serious alarm bells for Myrtleford. We thought we came here today, Chris, I think it might have been a bit of a closer game than what pundits would have thought, considering the game we saw that Lukey and I and Panda saw a couple of weeks ago with Myrtleford and Albury. But yeah, the Rovers have just been far too superior for them today.
4 goals to Boyd, 4 goals to Markaloo in his 101st game. He's celebrating 100 on home soil, but they've been outstanding. But the alarm bells were ringing in the first quarter, weren't they? The Rovers didn't make probably the most of their chances, but the forward 50 entries that they did have, they were capitalising on the most.
Yeah, and especially the leg speed that the Rovers have got. We've noticed that I really like the way they've set up the ground in today's game, and there was a period in the second quarter there I just noticed the ball was on centre wing, and in the Rovers forward half they had Markaloo and Forrest was one out, and then Levi Young and Tom Boyd was about 30 metres ahead of them, and then ahead of Boyd there was absolutely no one for another 30 or 40 metres, so they've just cleared it right out. They know around the ground they've got a superior confidence in and around the contested part of the game, which I thought they might struggle with today. They've lost a few of their midfield balls today, but it certainly hasn't been a struggle for them at all, so they've really dominated in that area, and it's been a really superior. And with that leg speed, it's just so damaging going the other way that you can just notice it on top of the ground how much quicker that the Rovers have been compared to the Saints throughout this game.
McCarthy's really stood up for me. What's his numbers been so far for the Hawks? He doesn't look like a great mover, but when he gets the footy, he doesn't waste it, and he's so strong.
Yeah, he is. He's had the 14 disposals on the 40-wing stat sheet to half-time, which is actually a leading disposal getter for both teams on our stat sheet today. Sam Murray's had the 12 disposals in that first half. He had 8 of them in the first quarter. Will Christie in the ruck, I've really liked his game. As Lukey said throughout the call, it's the first time I've seen him play live as well, and I really like his movement. And Jack Garish as well, he's up to the 11 disposals for the Wangaratta Rovers. On the Myrtleford Alpine Saints side of things, Mitch Del Bosco's had 12. Brody Riccardi's had the 11 disposals as well. So bit of work there for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints to do, and that's in the second half to try and get back into this game.
They really struggled in the midfield getting first use of it. Obviously, Christie, Philo really turned it on, especially late in that second quarter. But when the Saints did have some forward 50 entries and some clearance work, there was no surprise as Simon Curtis was in the middle of that.
Yeah, well, Curtis went into the middle of it towards the end of that quarter there, Chris, as you touched on. He had 5 disposals. Probably a lot of them were in that back half of that second quarter. We have seen at times he's playing more forward this year. I don't know if that's to manage him through the games or what the reason for that is, but when he's around the footy, there is really good things that happen for the Saints, and they kicked 2 goals in 30 seconds. As you said, there was a beautiful movement from Curtis in the middle of the ground, so no surprises that no matter what football team you are, if you get your best players around the footy, good things tend to happen. So I just hope in this second half that they pull the pin and put him up there a little bit more. But again, the flip side is it could be a bit of a learning curve for some of these younger players to step up, and they can't always rely on these bigger bodies. They're going to have to fend for themselves at times. And Tom Capillari started well. He was really quiet in that second quarter. There's a few there for the Myrtleford Saints that they really need to step up in this second half.
Capillari actually came off injured late in that quarter as well with a bit of a leg complaint. So hopefully he can turn the tide for the Saints in the third quarter. But if you look at their list, there's plenty of players that are not playing to their potential at the moment. We could name probably a dozen quite easily for the Saints. Obviously, you've got Riccardi, who could probably lift a little bit. I think the defence has really been under the pump. But the midfield pressure is not really helping that at all. The delivery to the forwards has been first class for the Rovers.
Yeah, it certainly has been. And when the ball is moving so quickly like that, it is hard for any defence to try and stop, and especially when they do, the Rovers, again, as we pointed out through the call, move all their players up the ground, and then just when you're trying to match leg speed and you haven't got it, it's going to hurt you going the other way. So there's not a lot that the defence can do. It's more at the ball carrier and just trying to nullify the ball. And we've applauded the way that Myrtleford like to play the footy, and I love watching their play style of footy. But if they haven't hit those inside kicks properly today, they've been severely burnt going the other way. So I mean, it's what way you play your footy. It's one of the highlights of the Myrtleford season is they will continue to play that way, but their foot skills just need to be that little bit better to be able to hit those inside targets. And conversely, at times, I think the Rovers have done really well to defend that corridor and move the Saints out wider where they probably don't want to be as much, and it's something they're not as used to, and being able to outnumber them when the footy hits the ground there as well.
You're spot on, though. They do want to play through the corridor. They want to, but that chip kick, it's a coach killer, isn't it? That it turns over. You only need a fist or a bump to dislodge the ball. You've got a turnover in the middle of the ground. You've got numbers against you because you're streaming forward, and it opens you up to a counter attack, doesn't it?
Yeah, it certainly does. And with the leg speed that the Rovers have, and that's one thing the Rovers have always got. They're probably one of the quicker teams in the competition, and the Saints, we flagged it last year that they probably lack a little bit of leg speed on the outside, and they are getting a little. They have brought in some players this year and some younger blood in, which has helped that, but they've still got a little bit of way to go, I think, when you're looking at the rest of the competition. But it's just that the genuine leg speed which is really hurting them, and it's not something that you can really tactically change if you're throughout the game as well. It's just by having to use the footy better, hitting your targets, and not allowing the opposition to use that leg speed. So I don't know if that's you want to slow the game down, but that's not the way that the Saints want to play. So it really will be an interesting half-time for both sides, and it'll be interesting to see the second half of how it plays out, Chris, I think.
Spot on, Freaky. I'll have a quick go through the goals if you want to have a look at the round-the-ground scores, and we'll get you in a second. But as I mentioned before, Tom Boyd, 4 goals. Alex Marklew has 5 goals. Could have had 6 or 7 Wilson to his name. You got singles to Dylan Wilson, who's been quite useful across half forward as well. Uses the ball really well. Has found himself in some space. Will Christie's got a goal. Will McCarthy as well for the Rovers. For the Saints, you've got Riley Sharp, Levi Young, Damon Harrington, Declan Brenn and Lockie Hourigan, who push forward for a rare opportunity going forward there. But we might take a quick break. Don't you go away. Let's see if the Saints can come back in this second half. This is O&M Live, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing. Get to it. I saw them like, oh no, we need to go to a break.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury-Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything. Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Here on this Saturday, the 15th of July. SSNA round 13, Ovens and Murray action, and it's been one-way traffic in the opening half. The Wangaratta Rovers with all the attacking 12-84. And the Twin Towers, Marklew and Boyd have 9 goals between them up against the Myrtleford Alpine Saints 4-3-27. Lukey, can we see a comeback for the ages?
Gee, I'd like to see it from a neutral supporter's view, Panda, but it's hard seeing it at the moment, isn't it? The Rovers are just well on top of their game. They're in full control. And whilst we would like a comeback here from the Saints to make it a good contest, I just can't see it at the moment. Freaky, what are your thoughts?
Oh, hang on.
Yeah,
He's watching don't interrupt him, please.
He's watching the Pies.
And for good reason as well, Freaky. You got a little bit of time here, you know, to watch your beloved Pies. How are they going?
They're 41 points up. Freo, I was about to say Hawthorn. Freo's kicked the first 2 in the third quarter, but
how many for Pendles thanks to 40 weeks?
I have no idea about Pendles. I know Nick Dacos had 21 at half time.
Yeah, right.
He's got the Brownlow completely sewn up, doesn't he?
Do you reckon he does?
Oh, I think so. Yep.
Yeah, okay. What price is he?
Oh, he was $1.50. Is he? No, he went into $1.60 through the week.
Is he? He's odds on. He's in the red. My goodness.
Chriso, Geelong, your Geelong tonight up against my Bombers. How are you feeling?
I'm quietly confident. I know you are not confident. You've given me a 5-goal head start.
I have, yep. I reckon if we can get within 5 goals, I'll be pretty happy. And I know, Luke, I'm outnumbered here today in the box.
Yeah.
1 Bomber up against 2 Cats.
No, I think... No, look, it'd be good for your young blokes down there to go down, get a bit of experience here, Panda. And
I'll jump on the Bombers.
Panda, can I ask a controversial question? Do you think it should have been at the G?
No. I think that the Geelong have the right to play down there. I think it was poor timing. I think very poor timing. What was the problem with the steel down there at GMHBA or something like that?
Still hasn't come in from overseas. They can't get their hands on it, so I don't know.
Extraordinary, isn't it? Deary me. No problems like that here at the WJ Finlay Oval. Just problems mainly for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. Need to kick the first couple of goals, I reckon, just to get themselves going, get their body language going. Look at the umpire having to tell these kids. There must be 15 kids out on the ground at the moment, Freaky.
Herding them off.
There's many
It'd be like herding cats down there.
Many infants down there.
I think you just said that, didn't you, Chris? I just stole the words out of your mouth. Sorry, mate.
They're all looking for the prime train.
That's it.
He's over in Europe at the moment. Wonder if he's watching the live stream. So, ball about to get tossed back up here at the WJ Finlay. Let's see what the Myrtleford Alpine Saints have in store for them here in this third quarter. Lukey Francis for the Old Town and Country Tavern as our third quarter's underway here on O&M Live.
Christie and Cossa, great match-up in the ruck. Can't wait to see how that one plays out. And again, we'll have a stoppage straight away. So Cossa at the bottom of that pack. Hands it back to the umpire. Here we go again. And then ball hit the deck without one ruckman touching it. Curtis got a fist to it. Shutt went in on the second attempt. Just flipped it up to Christie. And then out the side to Philo. And away they go again. The Rovers searching kick towards the half-forward flank. Boy, got a hand pass in now. This is Smith. Smith, in fact, Amory. Long ball along the ground. Finds Alex McCarthy. Goes for home. Look at that. That is an absolute belter. A steer line goal of the day. Tremendous start of the second half from the Rovers. And it looks like...
Well, he was our player of the game so far, I reckon, Alex McCarthy. He's been outstanding in the guts, done everything, has used the ball so well, and that's sort of a bit of a cherry on top, isn't it? What a great start for him and the Hawks in this third term.
He's up to 15 disposals now, Alex McCarthy, kicking that 1 goal there. He's definitely been their best midfielder today. He's been really strong, been the top couple of players with Marklew and Boyd as well for the Rovers.
He's going to end up a very, very good Ovens and Murray player, I think, Alex McCarthy. Remember, he won the Thirds Player of the Year in 2021. Played a full season of seniors last year, and he's getting better every single game. He's going to turn himself into a good player. Here he is again on cue. Flicks a hand pass out wide. It was intercepted looking for Murray, but Endo did well for the Saints. Coming through was Maraka. Cossa flicks it back to Harrington. Jake Sharp's hand pass was just really no one in the end. Garish was sort of grabbed without it. Curtis came through like a steam train. Kicked a half forward at the back. A beautiful mark there by Riccardi up against the bigger Chamberlain. He's got Bedendo running into a bit of space. Riccardi, he's got an open goal square. Set sail. Horrigan, he dropped what he should have taken in the end, or he could have almost shepherded it through. Strange from Horrigan. Probably too easy in the end. It's through for a point after that. Myrtleford 28, the Rovers 90, as Will Nolan brings it in. That's on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard.
And Nolan comes out and hits McNamara on the half-back flank. Inboard to Shutt. The kick wasn't great. Winner Irving pinches it. Back to Curtis. They're about 70 from home. Wants to go very wide here to Capillari, but they still hold possession, the Saints. Early in the second half, and then Spears one into Riley Sharp. Rovers defence holds up through Chamberlain. Short one out trying to find Smith. And ball's gone out of bounds on the full, so it's going to be coming back in here. Tom Capillari with it. And then spears it in to Riccardi. Man on the mark, Chamberlain at probably about 48. So Brody with it. They trail by a big margin. 90 plays 28. Rovers well up.
It's a jam 50, Lukey. They don't have too many options.
Curtis goes in now. Riley Sharp, worm burner, hit the ground before him. And then the Rovers come in from everywhere. This is McNamara to Chamberlain. Chamberlain, short one to Shutt, under a ton of pressure, got brought down. Tom Capillari again, gets onto that left foot, high ball. There's a silo kick. Waiting under at Henderson. So too is Jake Sharp. Hourigan goes in, goes to ground, and it's going to be wrapped up. Or is he gone? He's gone. He's pinged with it. Nolan gets it, Panther.
He thought he got one for a high there, Hourigan, but it was actually his own teammate. He stayed on the ground, and here they come the Rovers. They're out on the far side. Garish has taken 3 bounces. Could have taken a 4th, Jack, if he wanted. His kick hung a long time in the air looking for McCarthy. Well done there by Harrington. That's Tyler on his opposite foot trying to get across. The kick out of defence was a shocking one. Out of bounds on the full. He had no options out there, but it's going to come straight back. Jack Garish has got it. Too far out to score. 80 from home, arcs around, big, long, penetrating right foot kick into the pocket, looking for Mark Lou. Grant came across the top. Boyd keeps it in, flicks it back towards that man, Mark Lou. Grant goes in. He was under a lot of pressure. Del Bosco for the Saints. They're holding on here. Jake Sharp has it. Has to clear it out of there as far as he can, looking for Bedendo, but it's going to come straight back. Henderson marks for the Rovers, 80 from home.
And plays on to Paddy Murray. One over the top to Alex McCarthy, who's been prominent in this football game, as Panda mentioned earlier on in this quarter. He really is having an impact. And then a short ball going inside 50. Ball hits the deck. Wasn't a great one. Forrest, Maraca. There's a whistle here. Chris Mitchell will go down to you for Waters.
I'm not really sure what happened. Someone got hit behind the play. I think it's a Myrtleford ball, but I think it's going to go to Sparks. Not really sure what for.
Hang on, the players are playing a completely different game on the other side of the ground.
Yeah, the ball will come back to Tom Sparks, but a lot of confusion here. No one really knows what's going on. No, Forrest is going to end up with it. No.
Not even us.
And plays on to Sparks, and now he goes to Del Bosco. So anyway, finally get it sorted out. Levi Young dropped the mark inside defensive 50, wants to take on Boyd. Nice play. Then gets it over to Brody Riccardi, who's playing deep now in defence, or he's got way up the ground. Curtis got a fist to it. Ball at ground level. Shutt picks it up for the Rovers. Left foot coming back in here. 40-metre kick. Mark Clue at the front. Ball goes to the deck. Grant wrapped up heavily by the Rovers. Alex Mark Clue out the back now on to Boyd. Boyd right foot banana rolling towards the Evans Street end. Going across the face of goal. And getting back there.
It hasn't gone out yet.
Is Jake Sharp. Gets it back out to Tyler Harrington, and here come the Saints on centre wing.
A little bit of space for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints, and a very ordinary kick there from Tyler Harrington. Looking for Kyle Winter-Irving. Not a great day to be a forward in the Myrtleford Alpine Saints lineup. Will Christie taking another intercept mark. He just looks a really good player, doesn't he, Will Christie? If the Rovers could get him in and qualify him for finals, tell you what, he'd be a dangerous player in September. Sam Henderson does well. Henderson, I should say. Out to Shutt. Another man, McCarthy. How many 40 winks now, Brad Freak?
Oh, he's coming off for his 18th of the game.
Good option to choose him. Likes a channel inboard. Mark Lou. Flies over the top. Can't mark. Out the back there, Levi Young just left the footy behind. Tom Boyd says thank you very much. And that's 5 for Tom Boyd. You can't make mistakes in this level, and Tom Boyd makes you pay. Finally, well, no, that's our second goal in this third quarter. The Rovers, they go to 96. The Myrtleford Alpine Saints, 28. Good finish there from Tom Boyd, Freaky.
Yeah, it certainly was. And they've had the 6 inside 50s on the 40-wing stat sheet in this third quarter already, the Wangaratta Rovers. So the ball's lived in their forward half of the ground already. The Myrtleford midfielders are getting more of the hands on it. Jake Sharp, Brody Riccardi, Simon Curtis and Tom Capillari have all had 3 disposals on the 40-wing stat sheet in this third quarter.
Levi Young attacked it really well, but just overran it and left behind, and open goal there for Boyd.
68-point margin now in favour of the Rovers. Here's Garish burning off centre wing and then gets a long ball to the arc of the 50. Philo will get this and picks it up now. Tight on the boundary line. Umpire's going to call it out though. And we will have a boundary thrown right on the 50 arc, Evans Street end here on the near side, Freaky.
Yeah, we will. Brody Philo's up to the 8 disposals now. He obviously didn't have any in the first quarter of that tag. Austin Wicks was going really well, so able to get off the chain since quarter time.
Boundary throw in, coming back in. Christie versus Cossa. Cossa got his left fist to it. Wicks, and then ends up with Curtis on the boot. He wants to shoot it towards the middle. Pack goes up. Hurrigan got a hand to it. Now at ground level, just scooped it out the side, but Will Nolan came in, stole the ball and sent it forward for the Rovers. Here it goes inside 50, bouncing ball. Tyler Harrington gets back for the Saints, spins around, and then Miss Capillari ends up with Del Bosco. On then to Alex Jacobs. And the Saints back to Capillari, put it to deck. Jacobs follows up again and finds McPherson on the outer side.
Centre wing, he's been called to play on. It wasn't 15 and he was under a ton of pressure, McPherson. He gets a few teammates that help him out. Del Bosco, one of those, comes in board, kicks to half forward. Capillari, in fact, it was a Bedendo, leaped really high, I should say. Free kick here to Brodie Riccardi, who just wrapped up Kai Williams from holding the ball. At half forward, goes out wide to Curtis. A bit of run and carry. Short option inboard, finds Sharp. Tight in the pocket. This is Riley. He plays on straight away. Comes back outside, attacking 50. Finds Riccardi, and his kick inboard has been chopped off here by Jack Garish. Messy play after all that for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. They just couldn't find an option, Chriso, and coming out pretty easy at the moment.
Been the story of the day, hasn't it? They've just looked for that 20-metre pass, and they've turned it over in bad spots.
Saints have it. Jake Sharp, 60 out from goal here, just down in front of our broadcast spot here. Netball court in. Got a 20-metre kick into Curtis.
He's got the distance here.
Man on the mark at 52. He should back himself here. Simon. Here he goes. He's winding up. Short. And finds Jacobs here. Man on the mark at 45. Chris Mitchell.
I haven't seen Jacobs kick too many shots at goal, so I'm not sure if he's got the journey here, but Curtis probably did, but didn't trust himself and look for a better option. Straighter option, not too much distance difference.
Alex Jacobs looking at the Saints' fifth. That's going to drop short into the goal square, fisted over the line. 96 plays 29 on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard. Macca's time clock has gone 9.5 third term. Let's go to Freaky, thanks to 40 Winks.
Yeah, Simon Curtis up to 6 disposals in this third quarter. He's trying his best for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints in that midfield. Will Christie up to 5 disposals, and Alex McCarthy's had the 4 in this third quarter for the Wangaratta Rovers.
Margin sits at 67 on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard to the way of the Rovers. Third term for STY medals. Austin Wicks fires a hand pass into towards the middle of the ground. This is Curtis getting busy in this third term. Penetrating kick into the pocket. A beautiful kick inside 50. Finds young Ashton McPherson, the 16-year-old all alone. 35 metres out in a slight angle.
Could have blazed away, couldn't he, Curtis? But he just held the ball for a couple of seconds longer, waiting for that option and pinpoint pass to McPherson.
April Rising Star winner earlier this year in the Ovens and Murray. He's a good young kid, is Ashton McPherson. He'll line up here, as I said, around 30-odd metres out. Kick on the way. It's through for a goal. A great finish from Ashton McPherson. The Myrtleford Alpine Saints got their 5th. They got a 5-5, trailing the Rovers 14-12, 96 on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard. We have played 10 minutes on the Macca's time clock, Freaky.
Yeah, we certainly have. Wangaratta Rovers have had more into the inside 50s in this third quarter, 8-6 in favour of them. But the Myrtleford Alpine Saints have been able to find their targets a little bit better in this third term moving forward. They've had the 4 marks inside forward 50. Simon Curtis there, who delivered one of those marks inside forward 50s, had the 7 disposals in this third quarter. And Brodie Riccardi's up to 5 disposals in this third quarter as well.
Yeah, big effort from Ash McPherson to be playing O&M footy at age 16. Tremendous. Here's Garish. And then Tyler Harrington met him. Garish, though, won it back and then got it on the right boot. Set it inside 50 or right to the edge of it. Bouncing ball. Williamson reels it in. Hand passes off to Gaston. Gaston right foot. Out wide here. Wilson picks it up and away he goes and then sends it out wide here trying to find Boyd. Ball's gone out of bounds. And we will have... Is it a free kick to the Saints? It is. So it has gone out on the full here. So Levi Young's going to send it across goal here, Panda, and the switch is on.
It is. This is Reece Grant with the football. Oh, a little bit of candy from Reece on El Marklu, if you don't mind. He'll love that. Kick out of defence. Finds a teammate, and Brent, who wins the free kick for a high one. Kicked the goal in the early stages of this game, did Declan Brent. Kick hugs the boundary line. Good fist out of play from Jace McQuaid, who's done a very good job on Riley Sharp. And we'll have a boundary throw in on the far side, right in front of the scoreboard here at the WJ Finlay Oval. Brad Freak around the grounds for 40 Winks, please.
Yeah, Yarrawonga too good for Wodonga Raiders, 103 to 41. Now the game at Martin Park score hasn't changed at the moment. It's 52 to 41 in favour of Lavington, and Wangaratta Magpies too good for North Albury, 81 to 30.
Wonder if that score's in fact stopped there between the Wodonga Bulldogs and Lavington.
I'll get on Play HQ because that's off the O&M app and see if there's a different score.
That's why he's the best, Lukey.
That's it, Panda.
That's why he put himself as the opening bowler at number 10 in the O&M Live 11.
Yeah, that's it. And so he should.
I did think about number 3 and open the bowling, but I thought that might have been a bit too far.
You should have.
Yeah, no, straight into the pace attack. Freaky, 61-point margin here. The Rovers up, back in the middle, Harrington, and then Wilson picks it up for the Rovers, spins around, and then gets back onto that right boot. They get a forward entry here, the Rovers, and then Grant got hands to it. Young, Boyd's got him, tied up. Held in. Good decision, I think, from the umpire, Chris Mitchell. Thanks to Waters.
Not a lot of prior opportunity. I think it was a good decision, as well as the Hawks get a few more numbers around that footy.
Let's have a look here. Yeah, there's a few around the pill. Big fist away by Young. Ball up in the air. Del Bosco. Capillari missed it. Jacobs, was that in the back? Yes, It was. And the Rovers are going to get it through Wilson. And he will have a shot on goal to the Evans Street end.
Had a decent game, Dylan Wilson. He's been involved in a lot of goals, hasn't he? But hasn't had heaps of it, but used it well.
Been really lively in that forward half. I think he set the tone a little bit early, Chriso, in the first quarter. He had a couple of early shots at goal. He's kicked one himself today. I just think he's been really lively and just been a bit of a spark in the forward half for the Rovers today.
Number 6 in the comp for tackles, Dylan Wilson. He's playing that high half-forward pressure role, and he's doing it very well.
This will get it out to 67 points for the brown and gold, and that is it. So just over 11-goal break here, and that's a double for Dylan Wilson. And the Rovers in no danger, Chris Mitchell, for Waters.
Yeah, it's opening up a little bit, isn't it, Lukey? But the Saints have been better in the last sort of 20 minutes of play, the end of the second quarter and the start of this one. But yeah, it's I don't think the score is indicative of how they're playing. But on the scoreboard, yes, they are getting thrashed. But I'd love to see them take the game on a little bit more, be a little bit smarter when they get it, maybe a bit longer kicking, give their forwards more opportunity because they've been starved of it.
At least they're throwing things around with the Magnets. Hourigan's playing forward, McPherson's playing forward. They've sent a few back, so not afraid to look at some different options. Del Bosco, he was under a ton of pressure from Garish, who forced a turnover. Williamson dropped it. Should have been pinged holding the ball, and the umpire, Jace Rain, off the field of play, has called exactly that, holding the ball. Free kick to the Saints. They got a little bit of space on the far wing. Curtis goes inboard, not to the favour of his attackers. Riley Sharp picks it up. He was under pressure straight away. Nolan goes in there, and Sharp's going to win a free kick for a hold against Paddy Murray, and he will line up here, Riley. 35 metres out directly in front.
Yeah, just held on a little bit too long there, Paddy Murray. Just obviously one of those ones where the footy gets out from the other side of the pack and you just don't know if he's still got the footy or not. But just want to know, boys, see if he kicks this one, Riley Sharp. This area on the ground today, it's the Bermuda Triangle,
it is.
To say. There's been a couple of shots there, nice and simple shots you think that they put straight through and missed. We'll just might have to get a bit of conspiracy theories out there, Lukey, if this one doesn't go through as well.
Great description from Brad Sprinkles, Freak. Riley Sharp's been the only one who's been able to finish from this spot today, and he makes no mistake. He says, get stuff, Freaky. That's his second goal, Riley Sharp. A brilliant finish. The Saints got their 6. They got a 6-5-41. Rovers 15-12-102 on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard. The margin sits at 61 points again, Lukey, at the 16th minute mark of the third quarter for STY Metals.
Yeah, that's it. Didn't come off freaky, but I liked it. I liked
got to be daring in this situation.
The endeavour was good.
Bermuda Triangle. How long have you been keeping that in the kit bag, mate?
It was on the bingo card for a while, Chris. I just wanted to get it off.
Do you reckon our man Dan Vaccaro would sort of provide that sort of description?
He wouldn't know what it was.
Third term brought to you by STY Metals here on 15-6-3-E. High ball going to the flanky. Oh, big clash between Rovers and Saints on the flank. Wow. Garish swings around, sends it in. Ball out of bounds here, so we're going to have a boundary throw in. Garish pleading with the umpire, saying it was in.
But we love Dan, don't we?
It's,
Amory and Philo, just a big clash there. A few Rovers runners coming out to check on those two. And, both eyes for the footy. It was gutsy stuff.
Umpire hurls it back into play. Christie, Jacobs, then off to Riccardi. Right foot, heading back towards the edge of the square on centre wing. Sam Murray got a handball out. Miss McCarthy. Here's Curtis. Simon on the right foot. Just too tall for Capillari. And now coming from the opposite side, good handball from Riley Sharp off to Tom Capillari. Has one bounce, two bounces, running into an open goal and kicks it for the Saints. So that's their 7th. 102 plays 47. They trail. The Rovers are up by a huge margin here. We've gone 18 minutes on the Macca's time clock. We'll go back down to you, Chriso, for Waters.
Yeah, it was just a great pickup from Sharp, wasn't it? That's where the goal was set up, and Capillari, we know he's got some good wheels and ran into an open goal, but they'll get their tails up with a couple of quick ones in a row, the Saints. 9 disposals in this third quarter for Simon Curtis, so him getting around the footy has been a real big win for them, a big plus in this quarter. Just being able to win a bit more of the footy out of the middle of the ground. Probably one of the more surprising things in this third quarter is Sam Murray's only had the 2 disposals. He's obviously the leading average disposal getter in the competition. He's only had the 14 disposals today, so I think that probably speaks to how much ball the Rovers have really had in their forward half.
So margin back to 55 points at the 18th minute mark of this third quarter for STY medals on the Macca's time clock. Simon Curtis just getting his hands on the pill in this third quarter, Freaky, for 40 winks.
Yeah, 10 disposals in the third quarter alone now.
Wow. Lining up the stat sheet. Huey Wales. Beautiful kick to half forward. Finds big Toby Cosser, and that could be 50.
Nearly 50, isn't it?
Oh, just asking the question of the umpire is Sam Murray. He was pushed, so Toby Cosser just inside the centre square, sits it up to the hot spot, pack forms. Maraka, did he get caught high? He did. Maraka trying to spin out of trouble.
Was either holding the ball or high, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's won a free kick, Chriso. Slight angle, about 40 out. I reckon he might just have the distance.
Yeah, I reckon he'll have the distance from here. Crafty little player, Maraka. Great to see him get his hands on the footy a bit more. They're the types of players the Saints need to get involved a little bit more.
So Josh Maraka, he's been around the traps for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints for a while. Played around that 50 games, set sail, and it's a beautiful finish from Josh Maraka.
3 in a row.
Saints have kicked 3 goals in a row. Margin back to 49 points. And they're having a good crack in this third quarter, Freaky, for the 40-wink stat sheet.
Yeah, they certainly do. I think this isn't the first time I've seen them play this similar style this year. I think it was about round 2, they played Albury in a very similar game where Albury would get on a run and kick 6 or 7 in a row, but then the Saints would come back and kick 5 or 6 in a row of their own. So they never give up. They keep wanting to play their style, which is really admirable, especially with the scoreboard the way it is.
Yeah, let's see if they can get the next one. Here we go. Ball back in the centre on WJ Finlay Oval on a perfect day for footy. Not too hot, not too cold. Little breeze. Wilson takes the mark just right of centre wing and then sends it forward. Look at that kick to the advantage of Philo. Right on the 50 arc here, Evans Street end. Brody in absolutely no hurry to get rid of this ball whatsoever. So that will indicate he's going to have a shot, Chris Mitchell.
I think he will, and he's getting lots of support from the balcony above me too. But he's nearly coming back all the way to the bench to chat with everyone, but taking his full time, that's for sure, Brody Philo.
He did. He just had a chat with the bench.
Here goes Brody. So he gets around to that right, and then it's a shocker. It's a sidewinder, helicopter kick down to the goal square, tapped through by Grant, one behind. So 103 plays 53 on the Harvard Norman betting scoreboard, and we have gone 21 minutes, third term here, thanks to Macca's.
So Del Bosco once again out of defence to Curtis, marked and then called to play on because it wasn't 15, and he kicks it out really wide to Reece Grant. First game back for 2023. Tries to get around a player on the mark, and he asked a lot of Tom Boyd, who slung him to the ground and said, "See you later, Reece." Oh no, it's a free kick for a sling tackle.
Pretty lucky, I think, Reece.
Very lucky indeed. I mean, he didn't really have that sling motion. He was the old-fashioned sling of the jumper, Freaky, wasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly was, but that's just what the umpires are looking for at the moment. I think he might have bit off a little bit too much chicken chew there, though, Reece.
Yeah, overestimating his abilities a little bit there, our man Reece.
I don't mind it.
And anyway, his kick was pretty ordinary as well out there to the far side. And it's out of bounds, and it'll get tossed back into play right next to the scoreboard that reads 103 to 53. The Wangaratta Rovers leading the Myrtleford Alpine Saints in this third quarter for STY medals. And here is Lukey Francis, the best voice in the business for the Old Town and Country Tavern.
Now, Christie was brought down, Panda, by Cossa. And the free kick's going to go to Christie. Gee, it's good to watch Chris Mitchell, these two in the ruck.
Well, hopefully we can see a bit more of it, Lukey. It is fantastic, isn't it? Good for the Hawks.
Yeah, super. Now goes down forward over the back, boy, with his hands on it. He's had a day out, ground level. There's Grant. And then they fight away for Wilson, try to bore his way through. Finn Osborne got the hand pass out to Mark Lou. Quick snap around the body, good vision.
Clever.
Finding Alex McCarthy, and he's taken the mark. 35 out to the Evans Street end, Chris O.
He's got great composure, doesn't he? And great left and right boot, Mark Lou. And just saw a little bit of an opening and thought, McCarthy, you can just get in that hole there, and I'm going to put it there. And he did just that, and McCarthy will come up for a shot. He's got a couple already, doesn't he?
He's got the one, yeah. The selflessness of Mark Lou today, I think, has been really, really strong.
Alex McCarthy's had a great game for the Rovers today. Has he got that one? He's hit the post. He's collided with the steel line post, Panda, on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard, and that makes it 104 to 53. Rovers well up. Macca's time clock's almost gone. Just over 23 third term.
Sorry, Lukey, I don't know if you guys have noticed, and if this has been mentioned, but if you have a look at the light poles, they've got names of club legends on them. Have you noticed that? You've got Sullivan, you've got Hill,
Very observant man,
Bustle.
Chris O.
I can't see one on the far side, but I can count three.
Yeah, you've done very well. Well picked up, and maybe our cameraman Travie might zoom in a little bit later on. And Travie Cartwright doing some of his best work on the camera, and Lukey Chilcott as well for Wangaratta Computers on the live stream. As the Rovers come back inside forward 50. Forrest with a big fist in there. Jake Sharp weaving through a little bit of traffic, and his kick was ordinary. Trying to clear defensive lines. Garish, how many for him, please, Brad Freak? He marks?
No, he's up to 18.
Arcs around. Whoa. Big, long kick towards goal from Garish. Oh, what a finish from Jack. Long-range bomb and a steel line goal today. He can flick a switch at any time, Garish, and the Rovers, they're putting on a show. 110, they lead over the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. 53 on the Harvey Norman betting scoreboard.
Been pretty consistent all day, Jack Garish. He's usually bursting through the centre square, but what a great long goal there for the Hawks, number 16 for the day.
He's up to 18 disposals, as we just touched on the 40-wing stat sheet. Kicked his first goal there as well. He's been outstanding. Will Christie's also up to 17 disposals for the Wangaratta Rovers today. He's been awesome as well. And Alex McCarthy, as Panda told me to put him in the stat lineup for today. So great call from you, Panda. You wouldn't get that from Gus. He's up to the 19 disposals.
What a booming kick from Jack Garish. Do you want to finish it off there, Chris O?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, and then ball up towards the arc of the 50, bouncing ball. Garish again for his second in 20 seconds. And no, that one wayward and has gone out of bounds on the full. So we will have a free kick here going to Mitch Del Bosco.
Feels like a long quarter.
It does.
Deep back pocket.
You trying to say something, Chris?
No.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything. Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
40-wing stat sheet. He was everywhere. They threw him in the middle of the ground, and he really was that bull for them in that third quarter. If we have a look at the 40-wing stat sheet, if we start with the team stats, 17 inside 50s to 9. Just been total domination today by the Wangaratta Rovers and the inside 50s as a whole. 46 entries to 24, just clearly dominating them, and we can see that on the scoreboard. They've had 32 shots from their 46 entries as well. So if you go inside forward 50 having that many shots, you're going to be kicking a big score as they are at the moment. They've taken the 15 marks inside forward 50 as well, compared to 6 for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. We have a look at the player stats. Will Christie in the rucks had 19 disposals. So has Alex McCarthy, who I think has been great for the Rovers. Jack Garish is up to the 20 disposals. If we have a look at the Alpine Saints side of things, Simon Curtis is our leading disposal getter on our stat sheet. He's up to 21, 20 for Mitchell Del Bosco, and 19 for Brody Riccardi.
Super freaky on the 40-wing stat sheet. Rightio, we'll cross down to ground level and see if Chris Mitchell could get to both huddles, or at least one. Down to you, Chriso, for Waters. What did you find out for us, mate?
I don't think he's listening to us at the moment.
He's got there. Where is he? Down there. I can't spot him. Oh, there he is. Chris, are you with us, young man?
Yes, I've got you, boys. Thank you. Just wrapped up Craig Miller. A lot better quarter from the Saints. Very happy with their run effort. Improved significantly. Doesn't want them to look at the scoreboard and finish the game off on a strong note and build on it for next week. On the flip side, the Rovers obviously not as happy, even though they're well in control of this one and going to run out victors. But mids and falls dropped off. This is from Sam Murray. Del Bosco and Curtis causing most of the problems. So I need to take those two out of the game.
Beautiful, Chriso. The last term is brought to you by APCO Wangaratta, and we've got a 59-point margin right on 10 goals here, 112 to 53. The Rovers up, just waiting for some spectators to clear the ground at the Evans Street end, and then we'll have the last term for you on 15-6, 3 and E. And we're about to go here. As we said, last term for APCO Wangaratta, back in the middle, Cossa. McCarthy picked it up though. Henderson just brought under holding the ball. Wasn't going to be paid by the umpire. Maraca off the side of the boot. Philo, wild hand pass, trying to find Sam Murray. Maraca picks it up again, off to Wicks. Good hand pass to Bedendo. Bedendo sends it down forward here, bouncing ball inside 50. And then coming out was McPherson, missed it. Paddy Mara picks it up now. McPherson goes in, brought to ground by Sam Murray. And we'll have a stoppage inside 50 at the Evans Street Inn. Pender?
Yes, we will, Lukey Francis. I just fixed a few little notes in my notepad. Fourth quarter action for APCO Wangaratta, best service station on the planet. And there's a free kick here to Alex McCarthy, another 40 wings disposal. Brad Freak, how many now?
He's coming up for his 20th of the game.
Certainly been his best game in season 2023. He's been pretty good in a lot of games. I think he's been in the best about 4 or 5 times. As Cody Shutt has it at halfback. Broadcast side, kicks it up to a range of Myrtleford Alpine Saints players. Del Bosco, one of those. He marks just in his own defensive half. Got an option in front of him, Curtis. How many times have we seen Del Bosco to Curtis today? His kick into the pocket, Bedendo there. So's Riley Sharp, and it's been allowed to trickle over the boundary line. The Myrtleford Alpine Saints will have it thrown back into a dangerous position around their goal. Early stages, we've played a minute and a half for the Macca's time clock for this last quarter, thanks to APCO Wangaratta. No change to the work locker Wangaratta scoreboard, Lukey.
That's it, Panda. Ball back into play from the boundary umpire. Shutt went through his hands. Riley Sharp, great pickup. And kicked it into the back of McPherson. Shutt again. Tom Capillari. But swung around. McPherson goes in. So to Shutt again with McNamara. Ball at ground level. Umpire's going to have it, Freaky.
Yeah, just going around the grounds, boys. 14-point lead to the Lavington Panthers in that game. And it looks like that Geordie Taylor's just been sent off in that game as well.
Sent off?
Yeah, it just looks like he just... It looked pretty accidental, but just going off what I'm watching, it looks like he's been sent off for 10 minutes in that game. Yellow card.
Wow,
and that's
that is huge.
First game back, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, interesting. Riley Sharp, left-hand hand to it, picked up by Riccardi, brought to ground. Good tackle. And the Rovers kick it out, but it's coming back in through Tom Sparks.
I feel like that other game would be very heated between the Wodonga Bulldogs and the Lavington Panthers. And here is Tom Sparks for the Saints, sending them into attack once again. And an intercept mark has been taken by Sam Murray. in the defensive pocket. Beautiful kick to Wilson. And look at the space just open up for Philo, able to move through traffic and kick towards half forward. Good work there by Reece Grant for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints, who came out and met the football, but he turned it over to McNamara, who gets it back in a 1-2 there with Philo. Good kick down the line to Boyd. He's going to run it beside him. It's Dill Wilson. Left foot kicks a beauty inboard, looking for Mark Lou, who just done well to nudge Reece Grant under the football. Smart play from Mark Lou. And he'll line up for goal number 6. He won't, because he's going to play on as easy as you like, snap it around the corner and miss it to the near side. Too easy for El Mark Lou in the end.
Too much time to think about it.
Yeah, didn't want to think about it. It's through for a minor score. 113 the Rovers, Myrtleford 53. The margin is an even 60 on the Worklocker Wangaratta scoreboard.
Yeah, he does it so easily, Alex Marklew. Winter Irving, halfback flank for the Saints. Far side, netball court end. Good kick, finding Riley Sharp. So let's see what they can put together from here, the Saints. Here they go, the tricolours. A long kick from Riley Sharp, heading up towards the flank. Good mark. Sam Murray coming over the back. Just floated in at the right time, Chris Mitchell.
And I think he took young McNamara out as well.
He did. Will Nolan has a bounce coming off half-back. A little bit high for Gerish, had to work for it. Kick wasn't great. Young mops up for the Saints. And then Ordinary got smothered by Gerish, goes again. Him and Young in a great one-on-one battle here. Ball knocked along the ground. Jake Sharp scoops it up, gets it back to Curtis. Curtis, squaring ball to Harrington. That's Tyler. Short to Sparks. Just the required distance here. Backward of centre wing for the Saints. Now the switch. Well, this is a worry. Grant, well done. Took the mark under high pressure from Mark Clue. Grant's calling for leads, and here come the Saints.
Yeah, so he plays on. Nice little left foot chiseler inboard. Finds Declan Bren. Done pretty well, Reece Grant on Mark Clue in the second half. Bren likes the lead in the pocket, and Riccardi in an acre of space comes out and meets the footy. He'll line up from around 35, 40 metres out on a slight angle. Always manages to find space, Riccardi, Chris Mitchell.
Yeah, he's a good operator, isn't he? Uses the ball well. Very smart footballer as well. That between the years, he does a lot of work that you obviously don't see. But a goal here would be big for their confidence, the Saints.
So Brodie Riccardi is a lovely finisher, and that is a wonderful goal. A great drop punt. It won't mean much in the grand scheme of things, but a bit of pride here for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. A great finish from Brodie Riccardi. That's his first goal today. The Saints, they got 10. And the Wangaratta Rovers, well, they got 16. 113 plays, 59 on our Worklocker Wangaratta scoreboard. Brad Freak?
Yeah, if we go around the grounds to the other game in Martin Park, only an 8-point ball game at the moment. Was just recently out to 20 points. The Wodonga Bulldogs have only got 17 on the field at the moment, with Geordie Taylor being yellow carded in that game as well. So really interesting finish to that game there. And the other games in the Ovens and Murray at the moment. Good one-way traffic. Yarrawonga up by 73 points against the Wodonga Raiders. And a 62-point margin is in favour of the Wangaratta Magpies.
Freaky and I are both watching the other game, Lukey, so you might have to call this one on your own, mate.
And no worries at all, Panda.
He's up to the task.
Brad Freak, Chris Mitchell, Blake Escott and Luke Francis here at WJ Finlay. Tyler Harrington off to Maraca. Wide border Capillari. Here goes Tom. Gets onto that left foot. Sends it inside 50. Just Rovers down there. McQuaid put it to ground. McPherson got taken around the neck. And he will take the ball here. Man on the mark. It'll be about 45 out. Ash McPherson's already kicked one to the netball court end. It was a good goal, Chris Mitchell.
It was, but he's just a tough little fella, isn't he, for just a 16-year-old? He puts his body on the line, and he did just that just then. He knew he was going to get crunched, but he lowered the shoulders a little bit and was quite smart about it and got one high.
Here goes Ash. He's about to give it everything he's got. Is that coming back? No, to the right-hand side, and it's gone through for one behind on the scoreboard. So 113 plays 60. Rovers with the lead on the Worklocker Wangaratta scoreboard. Macca's time clock has gone 7 minutes. Final turn, Blake Escott.
For APCO Wangaratta. The service station going around. Beautiful kick out of defence from Sam Murray to find Jack Gerish, who's been lighting up that 40-wing stat sheet. His disposal in 2023 has improved dramatically as well to find Tom Boyd at half forward. Bit of a lazy kick, hits the deck in front of Philo, who hand passes it over his head and wins a free kick for a push in the back. Does he? No. Boundary throw in right in front of where we are commentating from here at the WJ Finlay Oval. 70 around from the Wangaratta Rovers goal. They're home. They're going to cement their spot in fourth position in the SSNA Ovens and Murray. 113 plays 60 on the Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard.
Here's Finn Osborne, ground level. Maraca has him wrapped up. Ball comes out. Hourigan, Garish and Jacobs fight away at it, ground level. And Henderson goes. Damon Harrington had him, so it's a free kick going to Henderson. In the headband, with Wimbledon on this week, it's not a bad theme. And then Boyd takes the mark inside 50, Chris Mitchell.
He sticky hands at the moment, doesn't he? Tom Boyd, he's searching for goal number 6, but great work there by Henderson, and does stand out a little bit with that headband. Who was your favourite tennis player with a headband, Lukey?
You got to go. You got to go with Pat Cash, haven't you?
Roger?
The one with, I love Roger. Love the Fed Express. What about yourself, Chris O?
Hard to go past Roger.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Leighton Hewitt wore a headband for a little bit.
Yeah.
Wore a hat
Yes,
as well.
he did. Yeah. But the Fred Express, though, the Swiss Maestro. There's Boyd sending it towards a goal square. Didn't quite get onto it. Off hands and through for one behind. So 114 plays 60 on the Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard now. Rovers a mile in front. Macca's time clock's gone 9. Let's go to you, Freaky. What do you got for us over there?
Yeah, if we go around the grounds, only a one-point ball game at Martin Park again. 16 minutes gone, 86 to 85. We're going to be about 3 minutes ago that Lavington were up by 20 points, and Wodonga's only got 17 on the ground as well. So great fight back here from the Dogs at the other game, Martin Park, at the moment.
Oscar Wilding just kicked a goal to bring the margin back to 1, and I think Lavi have just kicked a goal of their own there to bring the margin back out to 7 points. The beauty of technology. Cool footy and watch a bit of TV in the process. Alex Jacobs wraps up Will Christie. What have you thought of his game, Chris O? Third game for the Wangaratta Rovers this year. Will Christie been impressive?
Yeah, first half was probably better than the second half, but what an outstanding talent. They'd love to get him every week, wouldn't they?
They would indeed. He's having a couple of words here with Tom Capillari, and Toby Cossa comes along and pushes him as well. At half forward, Paddy McNamara has been tackled by Riccardi. Half forward for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. If you're just tuning in, round 13 SSNA Ovens and Murray action. 114 the Wangaratta Rovers, the Myrtleford Alpine Saints 60, and Costa has just given away a free kick to Christie. 5 goals to Tom Boyd, 5 goals to Al Marklew as well. They all came in the first half. Costa, is he just getting a little talking to here at the moment, Chris O, from the umpire?
Yeah, he is. Not sure what the free kick was for either, but the Saints weren't too happy about it. But the Rovers have got the footy. Going to go back into the 50 from Sam Murray.
They do indeed. A beautiful chiselling kick to McCarthy, who comes out and takes a Mawson's concrete mark of the day. Plays on Dill Wilson. Left foot kick inboard. Marklew just waited for it. It bounced straight off his chest. Hugh Wales went in there. Good pressure here from the Wangaratta Rovers. It's in the hands now of Riley Forrest, who hand passes it to Del Bosco, who calmly exits defence for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints.
He does, and Nolan comes over the top of the big fist. Here's Smith, and he sends it inside 50 for the Rovers, finding Wilson. Good footy. He is wide out, though. Let's see what he's going to do, Dylan. His eyes are darting around, trying to find Boyd again. Yes, in the midst on the second attempt, Chris Mitchell.
Yep, as I said before, when he is full stretch, nearly unstoppable when the ball movement's such as good like that from the Rovers. Have been, they've pinpointed him. He's been probably more dangerous than Markley, I reckon.
He must have taken a dozen marks today, Freaky, I reckon, Tom Boyd.
Yeah, Chris only hit the nail on the head early on in the game. It just takes it so high. Like there's no defender in the competition when he jumps and takes it at the highest point that's ever going to be able to spoil him.
He's shooting at half a dozen, so this would give him 6. Netball court end. In he comes Tom Boyd, 30 out. And he has got it. That's 6 for Tommy. 120 plays 60 on the Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard. Macca's time clock has gone 12 minutes. Final term. What's the story on the stat sheet, Freaky, thanks to 40 Wings?
Yeah, Sam Murray up to 4 disposals in this last quarter. Equal on the inside 50s in this last term as well. 5 apiece, but 3 marks inside the forward 50 for the Wangaratta Rovers. Just been able to lower their eyes and hit their targets as they move the ball forward in this game as well. So if we look at Mitch Del Bosco, he's up to 22 disposals for the Saints, and so is Simon Curtis. He's had the 22 disposals as well.
Hey, Chris O, what are you hearing up there on the balcony as well? I mean, they got the Premiership reunion. It's 4:15. Things starting to get a little bit interesting up there on the balcony.
They're pretty quiet, really, for a Rovers crowd. I know they're one of the most vocal and passionate in the comp, but no, they've been pretty reserved today. I reckon they might get rowdy later.
Maybe when you're doing a few interviews after the game. Capillari, inside forward 50, just over the head of Riccardi, who has Nolan for trouble. Murray's hand pass went back to Nolan, who just fumbled over the football. Would like his time again. Big, strong tackle there from the Wangaratta Rovers. We've got a ball up, a stoppage. Very tight up against the boundary. About 55 metres out from the Myrtleford Alpine Saints goal. Just in front of the club rooms. Sort of grandstand here at the WJ Finlay Oval. Jacobs left the football behind. More players dive over this pill and we'll have a secondary stoppage. Luke Francis for the Old Town and Country Tavern. 60 out from the Saints goal. The margin sits at an even 60 in this fourth quarter for APCO Wangaratta.
That's it, Panda. Now, Freaky, what's the story at John Flower Oval in Wodonga?
Yeah, Wodonga Bulldogs have just kicked a goal to get it back down to a point at that game at the moment. 20 minutes gone in the last quarter.
1 point in it, 20-minute mark, final term, Bulldogs in front.
That is correct, Lukey.
Wow. What a game, Panda. Chris Mitchell. Now, there's a stoppage here. No, it's going the way of McPherson. He's going to get it. So, free kick, Chris Mitchell.
Against Ledger, didn't really get a great look at it, Lukey.
He just was held on to him a bit too long. Chris Owen slung him to the ground once the ball was gone there.
He's had his hands on the footy a bit here, young Ash.
He's been a real bright spot in this last quarter. He's probably going to be a bright spot for Myrtleford as a season as a whole, as a 16-year-old playing really, really good footy in the O&M.
Let's see if he can slot this 45-degree angle. Comes in. In fact, it was a tougher angle than that, and he's absolutely nailed it. Well done. 35 to 40 out. 120 plays 66, and that's a double for Ash on the Work Like a Wangaratta scoreboard. Macca's time clock has gone 14 and a half final term. That was a great kick, Chris Mitchell.
It sort of just came back a little bit like a leg spinner, but he's been a bright spark in what hasn't been a great day for the Saints.
Bit of bright spark all year, I reckon, Freaky, for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. He's going to go real close to winning that Rising Star on Morris Medal Night.
Yeah, I think he will. He's going to be right in contention as well. For a 16-year-old and for his size, he's not a big fella. He really likes throwing his body in. He's not afraid, and it's some really good signs there for the Saints for something to build on for the future.
So Will Christie and Cossa Lockhorns again in the middle. Oh, and Jace Rain slipped over as well. The umpire, he's one of the best in it, Jace Rain. Doesn't worry him. Goes back and tosses it back up. Christie, Curtis over there. It sort of dribbles out of the front of the stoppage towards the Wangaratta Rovers goal. Williamson's over this football, and we have another stoppage as well. This is where we start thinking about our Waters player of the day. Of course, Chris Mitchell and Brad Freak will concur on that one. Who are you thinking at the moment, Chris, might be into considerations?
Oh, that's a good one. There's a few, I reckon, that could put their name up. Boyd, Mark Lou, and I think McCarthy is right in the mix as well.
You could raffle it around those three blokes as well, Lukey Francis, as Tyler Harrington streams away for the Saints on centre wing.
To Del Bosco, and then balks around Smith and goes down the line with about a 35-metre kick missing Riley Sharp. Ball gone out of bounds. Now, Freaky, has it been a change at Wodonga, John Flower Oval?
No, it's still a 1-point lead to the Lavington Panthers. 23 minutes gone in that game.
Oh, wow. The pressure just turned up to the max.
There's still a bit of time left, though, wouldn't there?
How many gone, Freaky?
There's 23, but they did have that delay when they're sending off the Geordie Taylor and getting Luke Garland up off the ground as well, who was the one that copped the knock. Luke Garland, I must say, did walk off the ground under his own accord, so I think he's all right. Might just have a bit of a concussion there.
Boyd on the boot, out of the middle. Oh, look at the ball. It's just
covered in mud.
Straight out of the cricket pitch area.
This is a soap.
Holding free kick here. Play on advantage to Riccardi. And then gets it to Maraca.
This is normal for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints, Chris, huh?
That's right. That should be an advantage, shouldn't it?
Right as centre wing. They go inside 50. Sharp at the back. Good mark, Sam Murray.
How did he come up with that?
He is an absolute star, this guy. And look at that kick. Just went to Henderson, but Curtis came from nowhere.
He did, intercepted to Maraca, who kicks it inboard. There's a lot of Saints players out at half forward here. This is Damon Harrington, kicked a good goal earlier, kicks into the pocket. Who was that leap from, McPherson?
Yes, he's going for mark of the year.
Why not? When you can't win the game, you may as well have a crack. He leapt very high. My binoculars caught it at the last minute.
One arm on the shoulder. I don't know how he's going to mark it.
I liked it.
Gary Moorcroft.
Yeah, it was.
That's what I thought.
What a brilliant call that was from Bruce McAvaney as well.
Oh, Bruce.
Delicious. So a free kick
Bruce.
In the back pocket. To the Wang Rovers. How many Sam Murray had today, Brad Freak?
He's had now the 22 in this game.
So that'd probably be his lowest output for the year, I reckon.
Yeah, he probably would. As we touched on in the third quarter, it's probably because in that second and third quarter how much dominance the Rovers had going in their forward half. The ball wasn't in the back half for on the forward half of Myrtleford, so he wasn't able to get his fingerprints on the game, which I think if you ask him, he probably wouldn't be unhappy about that.
Oh, that was tough play there from Dill Wilson, who's
Great
hunted
move,
the pill. Yeah, and Garish is in an absolute paddock if they look for him, but they didn't. Might end up all right here because I think after all of that, Shane Gaston has marked out the back. Garish is shaking his head still. He's all alone still, Jack Garish wanting the ball. Gaston says, nah, I'm going to go back. I'm going to have a set shot from 35 metres out on a slide angle. They could have raffled it off there, Brad Freak.
Yeah, they certainly could have, and yeah, plenty of players out in space there, but really nice mark there from Shane Gaston. A really good kick, actually, in the end, because it kicks to his advantage side. There was no chance for his Myrtleford defender to be able to get involved in the contest and try and spoil it away from him.
A late in for Toby Murray was Shane Gaston. The big Ibis not playing today. A little bit disappointing, Lukey. Big fans of the Ibis.
Yeah, well, robbed, Panda. Robbed.
So Shane Gaston comes in, sets sail, and he absolutely loves it, the big fella. He's up and about. The Rovers now got 17, 18, 120 over the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. 10-6-66. Sorry, they got 18 goals. 18, 18, 120. Myrtleford Alpine Saints 10-6-66 on the Worklocker Wangaratta scoreboard. But Freaky, the other game, margin back out to 7, I think.
Yeah, it is. 26 minutes gone in favour of the Lavington Panthers, and that one can't be too much longer left in that game, I wouldn't have thought.
Over the Dogs, of course.
Yep.
Tyler Harrington just come off with a very nasty finger injury, boys. Not sure we'll see him again, and they might be one short on the bench.
Cossa, thanks to that, Chriso. Gaston, out of the middle, high ball going up. And then Damon Harrington went back. Good work. Levi Young comes away with it, gets the ball out to Damon Harrington, then a left foot one. Heading out towards Hugh Wales. Picks it up off the deck and then goes down the line. A 35-metre kick trying to pick up McPherson. And then sees it out in front of McQuaid. We'll have a boundary throw in far side, right of centre wing. 126 plays 66. So the Rovers well and truly home here. Now, Freaky, tell us the score again, mate, and how long have we got left?
Yeah, so an 8-point lead now to the Lavy Panthers. Just about to click over 27 minutes gone in the last quarter
27.
there. Lavington
So
have
home.
Yeah, Lavy have got the ball now. They're just taking a mark and looking to kill some clock in that game.
Wow.
The Myrtleford Alpine Saints have had a pretty good last quarter. 2 goals apiece here. If you get in your car for APCO Wangaratta on 3Ds O&M Live, they've been pretty good to be able to just hold the margin around this all day here after it looked pretty ugly early as Riley Sharp marks in attacking 50. He's already kicked the 2 goals, has Riley Sharp. You'll line up Chriso from probably 45 metres out, pretty much directly in front. He's had an okay day, Riley Sharp.
Yeah, I reckon he's battled hard. Hasn't had heaps of supply, has he? And lots of pressure from some good defenders there, such as McQuaid. But right in front, you'd nearly back him in from here.
So you're saying it's a certainty, Chriso?
I said nearly.
Nearly back him in.
I reckon that's what it sounds like to me, Freaky.
That's what I thought as well. That's what I heard.
So Riley Sharp will line in. It was a pretty ordinary kick off the boot, but I
it
reckon it
was.
sailed through. As safe as houses from Riley Sharp. Doesn't matter how it gets there, Lukey, as long as it goes through the big sticks.
Tell you what, he's a good judge, that Chris Mitchell.
126.
Did not look good off the boot.
Plays 72 on the Worklocker Wangaratta scoreboard. We have played 21 minutes of the Macca's time clock in this last quarter.
That had to have been his worst kick for the day, but it just floated right through the middle, didn't it? So it doesn't matter how it goes through. Chris, still on the scoreboard says it's a goal.
I think they'll count it.
Yeah, they will. They will.
Tell you what it will do, boys. It'll be a very interesting post-game interview with Jordan Taylor on our 281 podcast as
Yeah,
well.
I don't know if you agree to that one, Panda.
Well, who knows?
Cossa, out of the middle, shut, and then knocks it along the ground, back to the advantage of Curtis. So Curtis goes inside 50 for the Saints. Good kick,
What a
finding
kick.
Hourigan.
Just told Hourigan where to go, didn't he? And he kicked it in that spot. Hourigan was good enough to get there.
Yeah, so we're seeing playing forward today. This is had to change it up, haven't they, Panda, because it wasn't working for them early on.
I don't mind the move, though. I mean, it's a new position for Hourigan. Freaky. It shows him how to play a different game. This might help him when he goes back down to defence.
Yeah, it might definitely as well. And then the other thing as well, I just like the fight from Myrtleford. Obviously, the last quarter they've sort of owned a fair bit of the footy, but just they haven't really given up in the game, and they've just kept trying to plug away.
Lockie Hourigan, he won't want to go home. Back to defence. He's kicked the goal. Well done, and that's a double for him. 126 plays 78. Rovers well up here. Worklocker Wangaratta scoreboard. Final term, and we've gone 23 minutes. Thanks to Macca's. Chris O.
Yeah, Alex Markley just getting lots of applause from the crowd here, and he knows there's not long left, but the coaches are giving. I think his brother's in. I know he's. All the coaches are giving him a bit of a rev up in his 101st game, but we'll call him the milestone man today, I reckon.
Yeah, very nice.
4 goals to 2 in this last quarter. So can the Myrtleford Alpine Saints win this quarter? Margin's back to 48, 126 to 78, and they're winning a free kick here at half forward through Brodie Riccardi. He's got it probably 65 out, still inside the centre square. Gets around Gaston on the mark. Fires it into the pocket. Sharp wearing Jace McQuaid for company. Here's Sam Murray with a dusty Martin. Don't argue. In fact, he's been called for a high fend-off. Must have been in the Adam's apple on Riley Sharp. Murray and Riley Sharp are laughing between each other. The crowd don't like it down there, Chriso.
It was a ripper fend-off, and he just sort of pushed him aside, didn't he? But
I thought
the
he
crowd
just slipped
hated
over,
it.
Sharp.
So he comes inboard, an ordinary kick looking for Riccardi, and Finn Osborne was able to win out for the Rovers. We got final score over there, Freaky, at the Martin Park.
Yeah, we do. Lavington have won that game by 9 points, 100 to 91. So they keep their final hopes alive and gives Wodonga Bulldogs another little knock to them to not make finals.
Yeah, so the Panthers live on in season 2023. Now, Tom Capillari's taken the mark. Man on the mark is at 48, and that is Finn Osborne. Very skillful player, this bloke, Tom Capillari. Got a lot of talent. He's got his right knee heavily strapped. So if you just tuned in, the Panthers got home versus the Bulldogs at John Flower Oval this afternoon. Look at that for a kick from Tom Capillari. That is brilliant. That is a steal line goal of the day, and that's a double for Tom. So 126 plays 84. The Rovers will win this round 13 clash. That's on the Work Locker Wangaratta scoreboard. Macca's time clock has gone. 25 minutes final term. We'll go to you, Freaky. What do you got for us over there?
The Pies are leading by 46 points, mate.
Oh, yeah, no. Okay, we won't go to you, Freaky. We'll go to Chris.
Well, I will say that you obviously junk time goals for the Saints, but you do know they're going to score, and they haven't stopped trying. 19 scoring shots. I think it's been a good second half for them.
Rovers have been maybe just a tiny little bit annoyed they haven't finished off here. They could have really finished off and put a bit of a statement to the rest of the competition and just allowed the Myrtleford Alpine Saints to sort of dominate this last quarter. The margin sits at 42 points, 126 to 84. If you're going to be a premiership contender, I just feel like you need to finish games off. As Christie marks at half forward, the siren sounds here at the WJ Finlay Oval. It's a good day to be a Wangaratta Rover. 18-18, 126 over the Myrtleford Alpine Saints, 13-6, 84. And a 42-point win to the Wangaratta Rovers. Important, who hang on to fourth spot in the Ovens of Murray. Lukey Francis.
Yeah, that's it, Panda, and they get home by a massive margin, don't they? A great win here today. They just burst out of the blocks this afternoon, and there was no turning back. The Saints, we thought they were their own worst enemy in the first quarter, and then Chris Mitchell came to us with the news at quarter time that Craig Miller said the exact same thing. Own worst enemy, the Tricolours, but they just couldn't work their way back into this game. The Rovers too hot on their home turf, and they have come away to a big win this afternoon, Panda.
Yeah, 6 goals to Tom Boyd, 5 to Alex Marklew.
Yeah.
2 to Will Christie, who was pretty good back into the lineup as well for the Wangaratta Rovers. And, of course, Chris Mitchell has an all-important job now to locate our Waters player of the day. Just repeating full-time as well over at the Martin Park between the Panthers and Wodonga. And Lavy have got home in a thriller over there as well. As Chris Mitchell just walks to the players who are all shaking hands at the moment.
Very casual out there, Chris, though, isn't he?
Brad Freak's out there in his white hat. You can pick him from a mile away, and he's painted on jeans on those legs of his.
He loves those Celtics, doesn't he? He's got the Celtics hat on.
Chriso's gone over to Alex McCarthy, who was spectacular for the Wangaratta Rovers. Well done to you, Chriso, down there with young Al McCarthy.
Yeah, thanks, Panda. Al McCarthy getting lots of stick from his teammates, particularly Brodie Foley might have been a bit jealous he didn't get player of the day. But Alex, great win for you guys, mate. Didn't finish it off that well, but it was set up early on.
Yeah, I guess we just, they've been our bunny the last few times we've played them, so bring the heat early and sort of just try and get them out of it as early as we could because we know they stick around all day, so yeah, it was good to get.
They did that, didn't they? And I guess a bit of revenge from earlier in the year when they got you by a point.
Exactly, yeah, no, it was good to get them today. It was an all-round team effort in the end, which was good.
Your key forwards were pretty outstanding, mate. I think nearly six each for Boyd and Mark Liu in his 101st game, but they were pretty vocal targets up there, weren't they?
Yeah, unreal. Both of them have been pretty good all year, so it's good to see them get the rewards sort of in this back half. They're really putting it on the scoreboard now, which is good.
Nearly cemented your final spot, mate. Top three is still a chance as well.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get the top three, double chance, but yeah, I think we can get it from anywhere.
Well done, Alex. Great game today, mate.
Thanks.
Al McCarthy, who was having a wonderful season in the SSNA Ovens and Murray. You look at it now, Lukey, and he's one of those players who's played 35 O&M senior games now after a really, really good third year back in 2021. You can see he's quite a mature body.
Yeah, he is.
He's tough, and he's averaging around 17.5 disposals, but I reckon his impact with those disposals when he has the ball, Lukey, he kicks big goals, especially late in games. He's going to be a star for the Wangaratta Rovers.
Yeah, you're right about that, Panda. He is a big body, isn't he? He's tough, and he takes a lot of shifting off the ball. Not only does he knock an opponent off the ball. Today,
Yes,
Panda, 92?
93.
93, my apologies, 93. Now, I'm sure that balcony will be rocking tonight. I'll have the disco pumping up there.
Absolutely. The 1993 throwback songs, do you reckon, Lukey?
Yeah,
should
I reckon
Google
they
some
will.
of the top songs of
93.
Of 93.
I reckon they'll grab the glow sticks out of the freezer for that one, Peter. It'll be a big one.
It will indeed.
Your Bombers in 93.
Yeah, yep, the year of the baby Bombers.
Yeah, that's it. They were there, Premiership reunion, I think it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago, didn't they?
They did indeed. So we'll get that song from Chris Mitchell as well.
Here they go.
Here they go. A big win to the Wangaratta Rovers over the Myrtleford Alpine Saints. 18-18, 126 to Myrtleford 13-6-84. When we come back, our APCO Wangaratta post-game show. A big win to the Rovers, 42 points. Remember, on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing. You clear. Thanks, Campbell. Good man. Done well all day, mate.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury-Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything. Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTafe is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTafe is the place for you.
GoTafe is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.